Hey, hello, hi, 1 second. There we go, music back. Good morning. Yeah. That was weird. Anyway, I just had a cough, and then the cough was very, like, in my throat. Good God. Anyway, good morning. Hi. Definitely gonna mute that on the pod. Anyway, this morning we are playing nothing. This morning we are doing. Why is my mic so low recently? Anyway, I'm gonna be a little bit louder for a bit. So this morning we're doing Draw Steel. So what Draw Steel is a new TTRPG. God, I talk too fast. A TTRPG by Matt Colville, who, if you don't know him, he's a dude that's been doing a series on YouTube about DMing and teaching people how to DM called Running the Game. And it's not just by him. He is the main like product manager. He didn't like sit down and write the thing, I don't think, but a lot of it is in his like style, like the way he speaks and the way like people like his sort of it's hard to describe, but it is very Matt Colville. Like looking through it, it definitely feels like something that he had a big hand in. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I want to make a couple characters, just because it sounds fun, you know. Hold on, my mic is being weird. It's bugging me how low it is. 1 second. Testing my mic. Testing. What if I turn the low all the way down? Wow. Oh, that's much lower. The low end is too low at that point. Let's turn that back up. Hello. Sorry, I'm messing with the. Oh, that was too much. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. I should have done this earlier, but I did not. So I'm trying to get like loud occasionally to see if it's gonna peak. Okay. That should be good. Anyway, because it does get really close to peaking, but isn't peaking. Although if I yell, it will peak. But we'll see about that. For right now, because maybe because my voice is a little lower, as you can tell. I'm a little tired. My throat's giving me some issues. I'm gonna drink some water, actually. Speaking of that. So I'm not gonna show much of the actual like screen in terms, or the actual like book, because it is, as far as I'm aware, still copyrighted material, and I don't want to. Hi, music. You're quite loud. And I don't want to like cause a problem. So, because I know it is not legal to stream yourself reading a book out loud or anything. Not completely. It's the same as if you just sat there and listened to music with no modification. Well, there is modification here. I want to encourage people to go buy the book because I want this game to be successful because I want them to make more stuff. Very selfish reasons, but that's what's going on with me on that. Sorry, I'm just checking the balance. Seems a little off in some ways. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna keep that the same. Oh, the pan is what's off. It doesn't matter. That's not. That's the wrong knob. That's why it wasn't changing. Hold on. And there we go. We are even. All right. It was like separate, very different ears. Anyway, I'm gonna stop messing with my mic now. I won't touch it. I can always forget I have physical controls to play with. Anyway, wait, hold on. I'm gonna mess with it one more time because I can do stuff like I'm in your left ear. Hello. Now I'm over in your right ear, and then things like that. Just like real quick with the physical knobs. But yeah, I don't know if that actually worked for Twitch. I don't know if Twitch actually separates the. Anyway, the point is, we're making a character. And the first step to making a character in Draw Steel is step 1, think. Yeah, I know. I made the same face about it. I was like, yeah, of course we're going to think. And I think it said this in the original copy. It doesn't say it anymore. It's like, yeah, of course you're gonna think. And that's what I thought. But they want you to like think about your character a little bit beforehand, because there's a lot of options you have to choose through, and you kind of want to choose something that you don't want to have to like go back and change stuff, right? But that being said, I made a character the other night. Now I got lucky, for the record, but last night I was messing around with the system, and I said, what if I didn't think? What if I just rolled a dice for every single choice that could have popped up? And I ended up with a pretty decently interesting character. Now, do their abilities and the way they play and or their skills really mesh? No, it's very weird. But it kind of works in its weirdness. It kind of creates a character who has lived a long life of weird shit. And so when they randomly, like you know how Shepherd Book from Firefly knows how to pick locks and stuff. He's a priest. Why would he know how to pick locks, right? It's that same sort of idea where like you have this character that has one sort of thing going on, but then they have all these weird side things that they're good at that character shouldn't, by all intents and purposes, that character should not be good at them. And that was really fun. So it's like the character I ended up with was like a psychic blackmailer. Like his original career was that he was a criminal and he blackmailed people, but I also got I got talent, and then I got the telepathy subclass, which is the basically it really worked out where it was like, hey, yeah, he blackmails people. Who's the best person to blackmail people? Well, people who have telepathy, right? Like you can just listen to someone's secrets when they think about them. It's almost a non-issue. And then you can forge evidence, as long as it's like believable evidence in a way, and it's something that they think only they know. You got blackmail right there. Okay. So character name. We don't have to do this right now. We'll come back to that. We need an ancestry first. I was just looking straight down the list here. So think, what do we want to do? Well, okay. There's a couple of ancestries. Ancestries is the first thing they want you to choose. And like that's usually how I do it. I might try and go for class first this time. So let's think. What are the ancestry options? Is there any that stick out to us? Something we want to do? We got devils, which are like tieflings. Dragon knights, which are kind of like a combination of space marines and what's it called? Dragonborn. Dwarf, which are slightly different. Woad elf, which are also slightly different. They have like bat ears. High elf, exactly what you think. I've already done that one, so I'm probably not going to do a high elf. Hakan, which are like half giants. And then human names. Not human names. Humans, mnemonic, which are like sort of robot-y, emotionless people, and orcs. Orcs and polders, I keep thinking it's the end and it's not. Polders, which are like gnomes and halflings tied into one. Revenants, which are like undead people. And time raiders, which I have one of already. So, of this list, I'm probably leaning towards Revenant or Dragon Knight. Revenants are interesting because you are a Revenant, but you are also a Revenant from one of the other ancestries. So while you are a Revenant, you are not like it's not like WoW where undead is a race that has its own things going on, right? It is just you're an undead version of one of these other ones with some extra bonuses. So yeah. I kind of want to go Dragon Knight. If I went Dragon Knight, okay, here's the other problem. If I made a Dragon Knight, I probably want to make a Space Marine. Like, that's what they seem like the most to me. And generally, class-wise, right, our options are Censor, which is like a Paladin, Conduit, which is like a Cleric, Elementalist, Fury, Null, which is like a monk, kind of, Shadow, it's like a rogue. Oh, and Fury's like a barbarian. Tactician, talent, or troubadour. And my first thought is to either go tactician or fury, because those to me both fit into the like Space Marine sort of vibe. However, those are the two characters I've made already. Actually, no, I did make a tactician. Sorry, I made a fury and a talent. I started a tactician and then backed off on that, so I could still do a tactician. But a lot of how tacticians work is very like teamwork focused. I guess it could be that way. I could see a Dragon Knight tactician. It seems really boring. It's the same way it's like making like a Wood Elf Ranger or a dwarven fighter. Not fighter. That's a bad example. An elven mage. Like it's that kind of thing where it's like the idea of a Dragon Knight tactician is pretty much on the nose, but it could be a nice one to like go through and just to have. Fuck it, let's do it. Okay. So first off, let's just start with a name. Dragon Knight names are generally like, how do I describe this? Sorry, I've accidentally set up my alarms today for work, and I do not have work. And so my phone's gonna be going off, and I don't want to bother going through and turning them all off, so I'm just gonna be. Oh, did I get new shifts? God damn. January 3rd, September 4th. Hold on. I already knew that. What changed? 10:30 to 2:30 on both of these? Yeah, you already told me this. Okay, yeah, sure. Anyway. Sorry, totally distracted, making sure I don't have work today. I didn't, but I was like, what if I did? And didn't know, you know? No, I don't work again until Wednesday. I'm Gucci. Anyway, so let's go Dragon Knight. Their names are very like Arkivorkusvar, Danorex, Denovenex. So I'm going to look up a Space Marine name generator. Space Marine names. What do we got? Paracius. That's fun. Paracius Sicaro. It's all going to be names like that. I do like Paracius, actually. They just have one name? Oh, they're all really long. Let's combine two. There's a lot of eyes in the mid-center. It's like Denox, Vaxinavax, Kellerix, Irax, Zegio Oriox. There's a lot of X's at the end, too. Okay. What if it's like Telemech Prasiux. Did they end in AS ever? No, so it was like AR, OR, or X. What about Prasius Prasius Tellar. Telemar. That sounds a little better. Prasius Telemar. Yeah. Good name. Alright. Thank you, Space Marine name generator. Okay, they're a Dragon Knight. So, in a lot of systems, the classes they give you and the ancestors they give you are kind of agnostic. You can put them in sort of anything. Draw Steel, while it claims, I'll make your own homebrew world. You can. I've made an attempt at it myself. That's what my other, the homebrew world you would see me build on stream. That's what it's for, is this game. But I'm realizing more and more as I look at this game now and like really dig into the details of it, that it's really embedded into its Like I'd have to reword a lot of the rules, basically give my players an entirely different sheet to work with, which I might end up doing anyway. But like, I don't know, you have to for example, Dragon Knight being a whole ancestry. Dragon Knights are a specific thing from the setting that Matt Colville made. Like, it's not just a Dragonborn. It is a Dragon Knight, and a Dragon Knight is someone who is like a person who was essentially, by the way, everyone is size. Let me write this down. It's essentially a genetically modified, created being, you know, and that was made for a battle he was basically a soldier in a bad guy's army, and it broke away. Here, I'll just read it to you. The ritual of Draconesis that grants the power to create a generation of Dragon Knights, also known as Draconians or Wormwights, is obscure and supremely difficult for even an experienced sorcerer to master. Small populations of Draconians in Kemhara, Higara, and Kosir attest to this. Descendants of original generations created millennia ago by powerful wizards. They have never been numerous. A typical clutch yields only a single egg. After only a few generations, these Draconians began to show new adaptations like feathers or frilled ridges. The largest extant population of Draconians and the remnants of the Dragon Phalanx in Vasloria. I can read words. Sorry, it's very small right now. My third monitor. Created by Good King Omad's Wizard of Vitae, the Dragon Phalanx once numbered several thousand of the king's greatest knights, ensuring the rule of law across the land. So basically created by a wizard, a court wizard, literally created to be his soldiers. Knighthood was a title carried by every member of the first generation of Dragon Knights. When the Dragon Phalanx were shadows, within the Dragon Phalanx were shadows, censors, tacticians, and elementalists, members of virtually every heroic vocation one could find in the 8 dragon flights, could be found in one of the 8 dragon flights that made up the Phalanx. For 30 years, these heroes were symbols of justice, protecting the weak from the strong, and standing between the common folk and those who sought power over others. Those who grew up in that place and time could not imagine any other way of life. Then Ajax came. Essentially, he turned them into... And then it doesn't describe it more, which is really annoying. This is the one other complaint about Draw Steel. Matt, if you're listening, here's my complaint. Yes, the book is very nice and cinematic and tells some good stories, but if I'm a new player and I didn't hear you talk about this in a YouTube video, you're gonna give me the next thing that pops up on the book is a story about like this guy's in a bar and it's like, oh, what's that? It's a Dragon Knight, watch out for him, and then like talk over it, you know. And he almost gets in a bar brawl, right? And he's like just trying to be left alone, and that's supposed to give you all the information you need about what Dragon Knights are. But no one wants to read through. No one. A lot of new players, especially like people who are just trying to make a character, are not going to read through almost a whole page of story to find out what that race is about. That section about like what, like this bit about like, oh, then Ajax came. Explain why that's important. Like in that section, be like, hey, this is why Ajax showing up is important. Even if it's only one more paragraph, just to explain like why that's an important thing. And then people can understand what the gist of it is. I know what's going on because I heard you talk about it, like in videos. But like, if you don't have that knowledge, it's like, okay, I don't want to read through this story. What are they about? I guess they're just dragon people. Cool. Done. You don't know anything about the history of, or like, if your DM is running actual like, you know, in universe Orden stuff, then you're going to be sort of ostracized in a lot of places, and you won't know why. You know, because you didn't have that knowledge when you made the character. You didn't know you were making what is essentially a drow, you know, in terms of like being amongst people. So whatever. Okay. Career. Well, first, when we chose Dragon Knight, let's do that thing first. So ancestry traits. We have a signature trait. Signature trait. Actually, I'm just going to abbreviate that to ST. And a lot of this stuff doesn't actually fit on this fill-in. I'm just doing this, and then one day if I ever like played them, I'd write it physically on a character sheet myself, just because then I can erase it easier and stuff. But this is a good way to like write the information down for me for later. Okay, signature trait, Worm Plate. Your hardened scales grant you damage immunity equal to your level to one of the following damage types: acid, corruption, fire, lightning, or poison. You can change your damage immunity type when you finish a repose. So you get to choose sort of whenever you want. We're gonna go with, for now, I'm gonna put the page number down. We're in plate page 29, just so I can find it again later. We're gonna go with fire. It's pretty basic. She's gonna be sort of immune to fire for now, or have a damage immunity equal to, at the moment, 1. So yeah. Okay, we get 3 ancestry points. So in Draw Steel, every ancestry gets ancestry points, and it depends on which ancestry you choose, but you get a certain amount of points per ancestry. Most of the time it's 3, with some exceptions. So you get 3 ancestry points to spend on traits. We get, let's see, here are our options. Draconian Guard, which is 1 point. Draconian Pride, which is an ability for 2 points. Dragon Breath, another 2-point ability. Prismatic Scales, 1 point. Remember Your Oath, 1 point. Wings, 2 point. So we're gonna probably be doing Tactician, and honestly probably gonna be doing the Protective Tactician, or actually we could do a Censor. There's a Censor class that is about protecting the weak, and that could be a really interesting setup. Especially with Draconian Guard. What does that say? Whenever you or an adjacent creature takes damage from a strike, you can use a triggered action to guard against the blow. You reduce any damage from the strike by amount equal to your level. Now the question is, if I pick Draconian Guard, will that be sort of overwritten by anything if I go for the Censor route? I'm going to scroll down real quick and look. Because of course I have this on a PDF. I do want the physical book, but at the time when I was buying the Kickstarter, I did not have the money for the physical book, and I didn't think I would want it, but now I do. Now I really want the physical book. Let's see. So that will be a thing eventually. I build a culture. Culture benefits? No, I don't want culture. I want class. I have to scroll really far for this. Classes. Okay, at least sensors at the very top, and I can check the information on. Let's see. You take not Paragon. Oh, not Exorcist, Paragon, or Oracle. Okay, maybe not. Exorcist. Hunting your orders enemies. No. Oracle. Corruption has deep tendrils. Paragon, another strong example. The weak will be corrupted. You have the lead skill. Don't they have a... Okay, I can channel my will to mend the wounds of others for my own stuff. Protective Circle. Okay, it is very, like, Paladin, though. For Tactician, I have to scroll down really far for that. We're in Shadow, we're close. Tactician, okay. Tactician has... Oh, Vanguard. Letting you lead from the front lines. Okay, that's what we want. Commanding Presence. Parry. Vanguard Parry. This is also a triggered action. A creature deals damage to the target, so self or ally. So I would have to choose between these 2 different triggered actions, essentially, if I took that racial. You can shift 1 square. If the target is you, if you end this shift adjacent to the target takes half the damage if the damage has any potency effect associated with it. The potency is decreased by 1. So, let's see. The target is you, or you end this shift adjacent to the target. So you shift, and you, like, basically, yeah, you shift closer, get inside, like, make the thing together, meet. Excuse me. The target takes half the damage. So I could decide, like, oh, if it's a 2 damage attack, I can reduce it by, you know, whatever it said on the thing here. I can reduce it by, what was the thing? Or I can cut it in half. I can reduce it by equal to my level. So if it's in, okay, well, that's just kind of generally worse. But that's if an adjacent creature, if I don't want to shift, I can do it that way. But the most I can reduce that by is 10 points at max level, right? So at 1, I'm only reducing it by 1, and at 2, I'll be reducing it by 2 damage, which isn't a whole lot. Let's look at the other options. Remember your oath. As a maneuver, you can recite the following oath until the start of your next turn. Whenever you make a saving throw, you succeed on a 4 or higher. Even should the sun stop in the sky, even should the night last 1,000 years, I will stand forever. I shall not yield. Those who suffer and yearn for justice, I am your sword and shield. I will yield no ground. I will speak no lies. I will stand against all tyrants until the last villain dies. I just have to say that out loud, and I get. All right. Oh, it's a maneuver. Okay, it's a maneuver. You say it out loud, and then at the start of the next turn, you make a saving throw on a 4 or higher. It's only 1 point. I'm tempted to take it. I'm gonna write this down. Yeah. Remember. Actually, I should. Yeah. Remember your oath. Page 29. Maneuver. Saving throw successful on 4 up. Trying to make it like short so I can look at this quickly later and like, oh, is that what that does? Okay. Okay. We have 2 more points. We can either spend them on a big 2-point ability or take the last 2 1-point abilities, which would be Prismatic Scales or Draconian Guard. Both passive, you have to remember. I probably don't want Draconian Pride or Draconian Breath, although Draconian Pride is pretty fun. Oh, it gives you another signature ability, and these character sheets aren't really designed. Okay, so a lot of classes will give you 2 signature abilities, which is what this is designed for. And then a lot of ancestries will give you another signature ability, but there's nowhere else on here to write like signature ability, so you just have to like put it under ability, like it's signature ability, because signature abilities are slightly different. Like they work differently. I don't know. I could get Dragon Breath. That's pretty cool. The Roar pushes things back, which is kind of helpful, but not so helpful for a melee dude. The Breath doesn't push anybody back, just does damage in an area. 3 cube within 1, whatever that means. Is it like within 1 of a 3 thing cube? I can see that. The other options are he can also take wings. I'm gonna say no wings. I think it's more cool to be grounded. So I'm gonna give. You know, I like Dragon Breath. I think that would be a fun. I know it's. I just said I didn't want an ability, but we're gonna put it here because I think that'd be fun to use. And it's kind of a classic dragon thing. And I get to choose the effect every time. Like I can choose between acid, cold, corruption, fire, lightning, or poison, which gives me a lot of like options in a fight. Like, oh hey, this is an undead. Use fire. Oh hey, this is a water creature. I don't know if this works this way, but use lightning. You know, like that kind of thing. Oh, there's a door in the way. I'm gonna acid the metal or whatever with my breath. Okay. Keywords. Area. Magic. Type. Main action. So they are beings made of pure magic. Or not made of pure magic, but like obviously they require magic to exist. So I'm less worried about my fighter having like magic stuff, even though he's not like a sword mage or anything like that. Each enemy in the area. Power roll. It's gonna be might or presence. I'm probably gonna want might because I'm gonna be doing what's it called? Fighter guy. Tactician, which is a 2. It's gonna be 2. I started to make a tactician at one point, so I already know what it's gonna be. There's no power roll. Oh, and there is. So this would be 2 damage. It's flat. 2 damage of element. 4 damage of element. Originally I wasn't writing like what kind of damage, and I realized after like making a couple characters that it says what kind of damage it is, and it's probably important. So now that if it just says damage or damage of like a certain element or whatever, then I write that down for sure. Okay. You can Chasm. You can choose the abilities. I think the music's no, it's fine. abilities. You can choose. I really actually wrote choose. You can choose the abilities. The abilities. Damage type from acid, cold, corruption, fire, lightning, or poison. Cool. All right. So that's there. I'm gonna put signature there, just so I remember that it's another signature ability. Okay. Cool. So that's spent all our points. We had 3 points. We've spent them. So we are no longer choosing our ancestry stuff. Now we have moved on to culture. Culture is how you were raised. Now, in my head, I like the idea of this dude being raised basically within the evil version of this army, essentially. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very specific. So everyone knows Orden. Sorry, everyone knows Kalian. I'm putting this down now. Kalian. I think that's how it's spelled. And which is like sort of the common tongue. And then I'm gonna say that all of my characters know their own tongue. I haven't made anyone who was like raised outside of their people, essentially. Bass, Tyrese, Ariax. So the typical ancestry, the typical culture for Dragon Knight would be a secluded bureaucratic marshal. I probably gonna go for something like that. So what you do basically here is you can see there's a culture tab. You build your culture from basically environment, organization, upbringing, and that gives you special bonuses and things. So it recommends that I take secluded, which would give me 1 skill from interpersonal or lore. There's more info, of course, what secluded means. It's like close quarters places like a cavern or a small society that's closed off, or just like monasteries, prisons, like anything that's like secluded where there's no reason for them to leave their home or interact with other people, or people that tend to live very close. Those will have thing. But my options for environment are actually not that. Each of these, there's not that many options because they kind of encompass whatever thing you can imagine. Like literally, if I thought of a random, communist elves who live in the forest, and I would look at this and go, okay, the communist one. Well, no, we'll go to elves first. Live in the forest. That's secluded, and then we go to. Actually, it could be secluded or wilderness. Both would work, because wilderness is one of the options. Or nomadic, depending on if they like move around, if they live in like a treehouse area. But anyway, secluded, wilderness. Then organization, you got bureaucratic or communal. Well, it's basically the difference between that is like capitalistic or communistic, essentially. But bureaucratic or communal. We go communal because that's what we said. And then we go to upbringing, and it's like, okay, they were probably brought up with either labor, like sort of farm labor and other just things you would need to survive in a small village, or maybe they were martial, like they were taught how to fight, or it could be lawless, like if they're like a crazy tribe of folks that are out there like that are like a bunch of elves that are like fuck, like basically like lost boys, take lawless. It does like a big overarching thing. So what we're gonna do, our options for environment are nomadic, rural, secluded, urban, wilderness. I'm actually going to go, I think, nomadic, potentially. So I was just thinking about like, what if he was, no, because he was raised in the army. So like they were nomadic, but that's not really, but that is kind of what's happening. But being raised in a single army or whatever is going to be secluded. Like your culture is that culture of the army. So we're going to go with secluded. Yeah, they're right. I tried to doubt them. Secluded. Okay. So interpersonal or lore. 1 from interpersonal or lore. And then I write the skill usually down here in all caps just to remind myself. So these are our skills. There's a lot of options. skills only provide a +2 bonus. They're not like 5e where you can have a skill with a +8 or something and you're like really good at it. But that being said, there are some other ways to like increase that. There are some things that are like, oh, you can go up to +3 on your skill or whatever. It's because in this game things aren't pass or fail, so you don't need a huge modifier to like 100%. Like let's say you're good at gambling, right? No, that's a bad example. Let's say you're good at disguising, right? Disguise is disguise a skill? No, sneak. There we go. Sneak is a skill in D&D 5e and a skill here. So in 5e, when you sneak and someone tries to like see you, you roll for a sneak, right? And let's say you have +2 sneak, right? You roll for that and you get a 12. And the creature has like a perception of 16. You get your +2, that gets you to 14. Even though that's pretty good, you still are seen, right? But if you have a +8 and you roll that 12, you're going to get a dirty 20, even on a 12. And that means that most things aren't going to see you. And so you have this like, pretty much a guarantee that you're going to be good at it. But that's because in D&D it is, does he see you or does he not, right? In Draw Steel, every roll has 3 tiers to it, right? And that's usually it's 11, God, what is it? It's written here. 11, less than 11, 12 to 16, or 17 or higher, which is generally how they roll everything in this. And these are different tiers of success or failure. So generally a less than 11 is usually like, you know, around a failure. It could be a success with some serious consequences, like is your DM, that's up to you. The middle tier could be, and actually also you can change these. If you want to make a test harder, you can say, actually, this is the only one you'll succeed on. You need a 17 or higher. These two are, this is failure with no consequence. This is failure with consequence. This is succeed. Or you can do, this is a failure with no consequence. This is succeed. This is succeed and with a bonus, or failure with consequence. I succeed, but nothing else happens. Succeed with a bonus. You know, that kind of thing. So on. Why do 4 feet smell? I actually know the answer, kind of. So when you sweat, your sweat is full of salts and things. And often there are types of bacteria, same bacteria types that are kind of in your armpits that make them smell, and they live off of that sweat, that salty water and things. It's kind of their bread and butter. And when they eat, they start outgassing afterwards. They fart, they poop, and when they do that, it smells. And so, like basically, it's bacteria that is living in that spot. Why is my cat such a bitch? Well, you see, part 1, cat. It's just cats, man. They're great, but they are so willful and independent. Wow, I actually drank water right as that hydrate popped in. We are synced, brother. So welcome in. So what were we doing? One from interpersonal or lore. Basically, because there's different tiers of success or failure in this game, it's less important for you to have a very high like bonus for a skill you're good at. Because also the scale is different. It's interesting. Why do they piss on the floor next to the litter box? Well, there's a couple of options. I guess my cat does this too sometimes. A, they can miss because they're stupid. Cats are way dumber than we give them credit for. We always think of cats as like the smarter of the animals compared to dogs, and while they might be smarter than dogs sometimes, a lot of cats are really dumb. So A, could be stupid and just miss. B, similarly, could have missed and is old. And if old cat, it's possible they were going to the litter box, didn't quite make it, and peed next to the litter box. That's what my cat does. My cat is old. The third option is that the litter box is dirtier than they would like, and so they are showing you that I will not use the litter box. I will just piss on the ground over here because the litter box is too dirty. Those are your options. Pebble is 2. Well, okay. I could just be mad at you and decided they want to piss on the floor because they're mad at you. There's a reason why cat deposits for apartments are more expensive than dog deposits. That's because cats are more willing to just piss on the ground, and their pee smells extra. Anyway, so we get to choose an interpersonal or lore skill. They've done it as like I finished cleaning the litter box. I have no idea. they were probably upset about something. Usually pissing somewhere is a cat's way of being like, hey, I don't like whatever just happened, or I don't like this thing, or something happened. I don't know. It's entirely up to that particular cat. Or the other two I mentioned where they're just dumb and missed. My cat will stand outside of the box, dig in the box with his paw to like be ready to piss or shit, and then we'll just do it outside the box. Because he's not in the box. He just assumes he's in because his paw can reach in and scoop the litter around. Cats are stupid. At least my cat is stupid. Yes, you are. So stupid. What a dumb cat. Anyway, okay. So, interpersonal or lore. I kind of want to go lore for strategy. Yeah, that seems right. This dude is like, he's in it. 1 second. Then we'll piss in the box and try it. Yeah, bury it by scratching the wall. Yep. Okay. Mine does that too. You'll scratch the outside of the box. Alright, so next up is organization. This is how the culture was organized. There are two options here, are bureaucratic or communal. Definitely, let's see. I think bureaucratic is the way to describe like a military organization. Yeah. Official leadership, formally recorded laws, often ranked in power according to those laws. Yeah, that's what we're after. Bureaucratic. Most of the cultures you're gonna make are gonna be bureaucratic. They are really stupid. Cats are so dumb. And when we think of them as smart, and they aren't. One from interpersonal or intrigue. So I'm gonna imagine that the military of, you know, Ajax's Dragon Knights or whatever was, again, I'm basing this a lot off of Space Marine stuff and all the books I've read. I'm gonna say that they are very similar. That they are very like structured but also disciplined. So they'll just stand in a hallway for whatever and guard without saying anything for hours, days if they can. I don't know if they can do that. But the point is that, like, for a long time. And so I am going to... oh, sorry, I was going to war with that. But I would say that they would probably also have some very good, like, camaraderie. And part of that camaraderie is going to be, like, especially in military settings, going to be very like, oh, you know, I killed 15 of those guys. You only did 2. Like, that kind of thing. So I'm going to give him brag as a skill. Maybe he doesn't use it much anymore, but I want to give him the ability to have this as a skill. Because it's something that he built up working, because this is based on his culture where he was raised. This is something that he built up while he was being raised, essentially, like in this environment. Okay, speaking of upbringing, and there's no question, we can't make any other choice. We're choosing martial. So for martial, the other options, by the way, are academic, creative, labor, lawless, martial, noble. Obviously, martial is our answer if he grew up in a military. So, because all Dragon Knights are basically bred to be in a military or a knighthood or whatever, from birth, from hatch. One from interpersonal. There's a lot of interpersonal here. And that's it. Oh, no, sorry, that's noble. I lied. That doesn't make any sense. There we go. One from the following: blacksmithing or fletching, climb, endurance, or ride. Oh, I'm going to just write the page 56. Lots of options. Oh, I didn't write down what I got. I took strategy. And then for this, I took brag. And then for this, so our options are blacksmithing or fletching. Blacksmithing could be useful. Climb, endurance, or ride from the exploration group. Intimidate from the interpersonal group. Alertness or track from the intrigue group. or monsters or strategy from the lore group. I'm going to go, actually, I was going to go with Intimidate because I want that skill. But I'm probably just going to find a way to take that in my career. So I'm going to leave that for now. And we're going to take Alertness. Now, if my career provides Alertness, I'll swap that out for Intimidate. So I'll keep that in mind. Because some things will be just like, have Alertness. I'm trying to make him as Space Marine as possible. Like, he's like the ultimate soldier, essentially. Because to me, again, that's what Dragon Knights are most like, is they're very Space Marine adjacent. You know? And to explain, if you weren't here when I explained it earlier, Dragon Knights are sort of bred from nothing to be soldiers, and their entire existence as soldiers. And they're bigger and stronger and whatever than most people. So that's the shtick. Let's see. All right, I think we move on. We did our culture. We have our languages. We're going to move on to our career. So what were we before? We were an adventurer, or a hero, I should say, because everybody here is a hero, whether they were evil before or not. They are, and some of them, there are a couple of hero options in career where it's like, oh, you're not actually, you're doing the hero thing to hide, but that's definitely like setting you up for the criminal with the heart of gold thing going on, you know? Anyway. Career questions. Yes, so you get skills, languages, renown. Some careers increase your renown. This one probably won't for me. So my options for career are agent, aristocrat, artisan, beggar, criminal, disciple, explorer, farmer, gladiator, close, laborer, mage's apprentice, performer, politician, sage, sailor, soldier, there we go, warden or watch officer. Warden is actually really cool. Warden is an idea, especially even the name, is an idea that I really liked for a long time, and it's kind of cool to see it in a game that someone else wrote. Basically the idea of a road warden, which is another game someone else made. I sold the title for this idea, but it's basically being a ranger, like the classic idea of a ranger, where you're protecting the roads, but you're also stopping people from poaching, but you're also protecting the roads from monsters. Like, you're kind of a park ranger with a gun, you know? Not a gun, obviously, because it's fantasy, but you know what I mean. It's that vibe. You're there to protect people, but also to protect animals and things. Like, that's an idea that was cool. I do want to make one of those, like a ranger, one of those at some point. But anyway, soldier is what we want, because what other option? We're making the classic quintessential Dragon Knight. His name wasn't anything else. He was always a soldier. Okay, skills, career. Soldier. Benefit. Okay. Or benefits. Skill. 1 from exploration. Exploration. And 1 from intrigue. Okay, let's look at those real fast. There's more, but I'm just going to do this one at a time. And 1 from intrigue. So we're gonna get alertness. We're gonna take alertness on that. So we're gonna change this. I had a feeling we'd have alertness. We're gonna change this to intimidate because we haven't had another option to take that. So intimidate. So our alertness is actually coming from this. Alertness and 1 from intrigue. Oh, we got that, and 1 from exploration. And so we're gonna do lift because he's strong. He's a strong guy. Lift. Okay. Endurance, potentially too, but excuse me, we'll get there. God, the text is so small this far away. Let me zoom in. Why no zoom in? Okay, now it works. Okay. Whatever. Okay, we get 2 languages, which is kind of fun. Languages. 2 languages. Let's take a look at the languages again real fast. Let's see what the options are. Okay. Could take dragon language. The first language is literally what it's called. It's kind of fun. I already can speak to regular dragons. I think I spelled that wrong. Okay, copy this and paste it in because I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong. Let's find out. Oh, that was right. All right. We're good. There's a text which is very small in the PDF. Okay, yeah. We'll take the first language. Why do we know this from our job? I don't know, but we do. From being a soldier, somehow we know the first language. And then we get one more. Let's take let's take a dead language. Do we have one of those? No, actually, let's not do that. Let's Kobolds, bugbears, fae, polar. Bed biddles. That's a weird name for a thing. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Angel. Legal jargon. Okay, we'll do the dwarven language. Zaliak. Just because it's like used for like complicated ideas and things. Hey bud, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate you. Okay, so we'll take that. Scroll back up. I gotta scroll back up to where I was. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. What other benefits do we have? Renown +1. So I am known somewhat, which is the first character I've had that has some renown. Was at 0. Also, I feel like there's pieces missing here where it's like, hey, add money. Hey, add, you know, such and such thing, and it just doesn't pop up a lot of the time. I don't know. I don't see it in the list of like, hey, do this thing, make connections, determine details. Like, how does money work? Because I know it's like a stat. But anyway, I'll figure that out. Okay, wealth, excuse me. So career, we're still working on that. Okay, and then 1 exploration perk. Perk 1 exploration perk. We're pretty far from the perks, so we'll have to remember to come back to that. But yeah. So perks are their own thing. You get like big ones here. Okay, inciting incident is why we are no longer, excuse me, no longer in a soldiering situation. Ow! Sorry, cat jumped on my lap, claws out. I'm wearing very thin pants. They're like, actually, ironically, they're cat pants. They're like little harem pants with cats on them. So they're like sort of half shorts, like go up down halfway past my knees. Anyway, and he just like, leaped onto my lap, claws out. I'll pet you, but all right. Peace through healing. Soul Survivor is where I'm leaning towards. You can make your own though. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna make my own. Disillusioned by what's another disillusioned by atrocity? Maybe? Barbarity? I'm gonna say disillusioned, actually. That's all I need. You left military in the night. What's abandoned is not the right word. What's it called when you leave the military without telling them. It's not abandon. Desertion. You deserted your company or squad in the night after a realization that not everything we're doing was for good. Was after realization that you were not fighting on the side of good. A real, like, are we the baddies moment, you know? That's kind of the vibe, the thought. Okay. You are unaware if members of your squad / company still exist, but if they do, they will likely try to execute you on sight. I don't know. I'm making shit up. If they, actually still exist, or if any. But you do your best to stay away from them. No. But you have no intention of finding out. There we go. You deserted your company or squad in the night after realization that you were not fighting on the side of good. You were unaware if members of your squad / company still exist, or if any agreed with you, but you have no intention of finding out. There we go. And you became a hero because you needed to right the wrongs that you and your company / squad did to folks. Okay. Cool. We'll come back to the perk we got from our career. Excuse me. A little later when we get to perks. God, I'm a clearing throat kind of guy today. Anyway. What were we saying? Classes. All right. When we know what class we're going to pick, we chose this a while ago. We are going for tactician. Tactician. I wish there was like a thing where I could like quickly like see every class in a hyperlink. I could just click it. Would be neat. Instead, I have to scroll. Oh, I'm just tactician. There we go. I forgot I can control F. All right. Starting is might and reason of 2. Might 2, reason 2. Because tacticians aren't just beefy fighters. If you want to be beefy without any reason, you got to be a fury for that. And then we have an option. We can take one of 3 arrays. 2, -1, -1. 1, 1, -1. Or 1, 0, 0. I think intuition I want to be pretty high. But I don't want presence and agility to be that low. Because I want agility to be pretty high too. So decently high. So we'll do 1, 1, -1. I think that's the array most people are going to take. Because, yeah. And presence is like your force of will. Although, what are presence skills? What is, hold on. I'll look into this a little bit. Because what if presence is like, just like charisma, where it's important for intimidation or whatever. Presence. Force of personality. A creature's capacity to lie to a judge, convince a crowd to join a revolution, impress a queen at a royal banquet, or cast a magic spell by singing a song is determined by presence. Agility, reason. Intuition. Okay, instincts and experience. Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of, like, he's not very charismatic in that way. Not able to convince people of it much unless he's threatening them. Okay. So my weak potency is reason -2, which is going to be reason -2 is 0. Reason -1 is 1, and then strong is 2. Just reason. Interesting that it's reason and not might, but whatever. Okay. Starting stamina at first level is 21. We probably will end up with more with our kit. We'll get to that later. Stamina gained at second and higher levels is 9. I don't know where to put that. You know, like, it tells me this. Okay, you're going to get 9 stamina at level 2. It's like, okay, cool. Where do I put that? Okay. You know? Anyway. Okay. Recovery is 10. Pretty good. You gain the lead skill, and then could choose from any other. Okay, hold on. So we gain the lead skill. There's a lot of skills that we get. Everyone gets a lot. Okay, lead. Then choose any 2 skills from alertness, architecture, blacksmithing, brag, culture, empathize, fletching, mechanics, monsters, search, strategy, or any of the skills in the exploration skill group. Well, let's go for monsters. That'd be something he'd want to know about, potentially. Let's see. And then he gets one more. Either architecture, blacksmithing, brag, culture, empathize. No. Mechanics like siege engines and stuff. Could be a thing he knows. Or anything from exploration, which is like climb, dive, endurance. Oh, endurance. I want endurance. I'll take endurance. Okay. First level features. Tactical Doctrine. Tactical Doctrine. This is the subclass, basically. I could choose between Insurgent, Mastermind, or Vanguard. We kind of chose already that we wanted to do Vanguard. Basically, you've learned the stratagems of ancient heroes, letting you lead from the front lines and seek victory through sheer force of will and personality. You gain a skill from the interpersonal skill group. Cool. Vanguard. Interpersonal skill group. Let's go with... I don't know. I mean, he's of the military. It could be gamble. Handle animals, maybe. Let's do gamble. Dude's had a lot of time to, like, just play cards and dice and stuff with his buddies in the military. Okay. Focus is our main heroic resource. So every class has basically the same sort of system with a heroic resource called. It has different names. Focus, drama, fury, or actually ferocity, things like that. And basically, it goes up as the battle goes. So as the battle goes on, I get more and more focused, and I see more into the code of battle and see what the flow of battle is working on. Someone who's a fury will gain more ferocity as it goes because they're in battle, they're getting hit, and the getting hit is like fueling their anger. Then you have like the troubadour who gets drama, and like as the battle goes on, they can lean on that, like, oh, it's dramatic, like, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, I get focus in a weird way, but I'm gonna write here focus. Page. What page am I on? 175. 175. Just to see how to gain it. Because you gain focus equal to your victories at the start of each time during your turns. At the start of each of your turns during combat, I gain 2 focus. Additionally, the first time you use combat round that you or an ally damages a creature marked by you, which we'll get to that. Hi, loud ass music. Okay, okay. Additionally, the first combat round that you or an ally damages a creature marked by you, you gain 1 focus. The first time in combat round that any ally within 10 squares of you uses a heroic ability, you also gain 1 focus. So I get focus pretty quick, as long as I'm with my allies and fighting amongst them. Okay. You can't gain focus outside of combat. You can't use your heroic abilities and effects that cost focus without spending it. Whenever you use an ability effect outside of combat that costs focus, you can't use the same ability effect outside of combat again until you earn 1 or more victories or finish a respite. Okay. Many of the Tactician's abilities grant allies extra movement, damage, and actions. What's happening in the fiction to allow this? The Tactician is an incredible strategist and inspiring leader who is quick to give commands and inspiration that causes their allies to act. The Tactician can quickly read the battlefield, analyze enemies, then bark orders and encouragement that pushes their allies to greatness. Many of the names of the Tactician's abilities are the actual commands they give their friends. I love these little notes from the authors. It's nice. Okay. First level Doctrine feature, we chose Vanguard, so we get Commanding Presence. You could probably write most of this one out. Presence. You command any room you walk into. While you are present during a negotiation, each hero with you treats your renown as 2 levels higher than usual. When you are present in a negotiation... Interesting that they got a non-combat skill or non-combat perk, basically, or feature, that's what I should say. Each hero with you treats their renown as 2 higher than usual, so it helps them with higher renown. Additionally, each hero with you during a combat encounter has a double edge on tests made to stop combat and start a negotiation. Additionally, each hero with you has a double edge on tests to stop combat and start a negotiation. Basically, I'm a big scary dude in the background, and it's like, hey, you don't want to fight this guy. Like, look at him. You know what a Dragon Knight can do. Do you want to fight him? Like, that kind of thing. And also, when I'm in the area, everyone's like, treats them better. Like, they're a higher... like, they're more important than they are, because they have a Dragon Knight following them around, essentially. Or they have a Commanding Presence dude following them around, which is pretty neat. Okay. Alright, we get a Doctrine-triggered action based on our Doctrine. Oh, I didn't write this down. Hold on. Tactician. The subclass is, what's it called? Vanguard. Wow, I spelled that wrong. I just missed my keys. It wasn't even like an intentional pressing of those. All right. So we get Parry, which is an interesting name for that. All right. This is going in our triggered action. Parry. Okay. Keywords. Melee. There we go. Weapon. The type is triggered. The distance is melee 2. That's pretty big. The target is self or 1 ally. Oh, I can shorten it by not writing out the word 1, I've just realized. It used to be when I got this PDF a little while ago and I tried it out, it automatically shrunk things that were too big, which was good because then it all fit. But now now it's like, no, it's just gonna go over it. Okay, the trigger is a creature deals damage to the target, and if that happens, you can shift 1 square if the target is you, or you end this shift adjacent to the target. The target takes half the damage. This is the thing we were looking at earlier. If the damage has any potency, the potency is decreased by 1. I'm still struggling with the potency a little bit. With potency, like, I have to really read through that again. It's like, when you decrease it by 1, does it decrease their thing, or does it decrease their... But yeah, anyway. Spend 1. I've been shortening this to spend 1 instead of spend 1 focus, because you know it's focus. You're playing this class, right? Distance becomes melee 1 plus your reason score. And you can shift up to a number of squares equal to your reason score instead of 1 square. Does that mean range? Range becomes melee 1 plus your reason score. So if I spend a focus, the range is like 3 or whatever. And I can shift up to 2 squares. Okay. So it's still letting me do... Actually, you can always like reach a little bit out. You just land adjacent because you never want to land on the square the person's on because you can't. Does that make sense? Okay. Next up, Field Arsenal. Right, I get 2 kits. And this is going to be an annoying part because I only get 1 thing here. I might put the other kit down here in this little section for like random shit. Yeah, we'll see. Or I'll just choose one. Because I like the idea of the Field Arsenal thing, but I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't need it. I don't really want it. But whatever. Okay. Field Arsenal. So, we're going to do Chapter 6 kits. When we get to kits, we can get 2. That's basically it. That's what we want to know. Mark. Oh, it's an ability. Okay. That's going to be a whole ass thing. Is it a heroic ability or is it just a regular if it's a regular ability? Okay. Mark. Keywords. Ranged. Maneuver. Distance. Range 10. Target 1 creature. Power roll. There is none. Don't worry about this part. It's not important. Now the effect is huge though. Page 177. Come back to that. Lots of benefits. Think Hunter's Mark. I'm just gonna have to like find that, and if I ever use this character, just have that as a list. Because okay, I'm gonna read the whole thing to you. You're gonna see why I didn't type it out in this little tiny box. The target is marked by you until the end of the encounter, until you are dying, or until you use this ability again. You can willingly end your mark on a creature, no action required, and if another tactician marks a creature, your mark on that creature ends. So only 1 mark from a tactician at a time. When a creature marked by you is reduced to 0 stamina, you can use a free triggered action to mark a new target within distance. You can initially mark only 1 creature using this ability. So wait, first off, so once he's dead, we can remark. Okay. You can initially mark only 1 creature using this ability, though other tactician abilities allow you to mark additional creatures at the same time. The Mastermind Tactical Doctrine's anticipation feature allows you to target additional enemies with this ability starting at 5th level. Well, the creature marked by you was within your line of effect, you and your allies within your line of... See, okay, for example, that could have been cut down. You can initially mark only 1 creature using this ability, though other tactician abilities allow you to mark additional creatures at the same time. Though some tactician abilities will allow you to mark additional creatures at the same time. Period. Done. Don't tell me about the Mastermind's tactical anticipation right now. We're talking about Mark. I'm not 5th level. I'm looking at Mark and seeing how it works. I'm not even I mean, you don't know I'm not a Mastermind, but like, it's not important. We find out about that later. Right? Don't tell me this in the middle of the Mark description. You've made it longer than it needs to be already. Anyway, again, I love this game. I've been loving it. I mean, to be clear, I haven't played it yet, but I'm loving everything else about it. It's just, it's so wordy. And this is coming from a dude with verbose in his name, right? While the creature marked by you is within your line of effect, you and allies within your line of effect gain an edge on power rolls made against that creature. Additionally, whenever you or an ally uses an ability to... First, marked by you is within your line of effect, you and allies within your line of effect gain an edge on power rolls. First off, an edge on power rolls. That's what it does. Additionally, whenever you or an ally uses an ability to deal roll damage to a creature marked by you, you can spend 1 focus to gain one of the following benefits as a free triggered action. The ability deals extra damage at equal to twice your reason score. The creature dealing the damage can spend a recovery. The creature dealing the damage can shift up to a number of squares and equal to your reason score. If you damage a creature marked by you with a melee ability, the creature is taunted by you until the end of next turn. You can't gain more than 1 benefit from the same target. All of that would not fit in what is equivalent to 3 sentences worth of space here on the character sheet. So, again, page 27 on 77. Lots of benefits. Think Hunter's Mark. Okay. We also have Strike Now, which is a thing. So I'll grab that. This is a... I think these gotta be signature, right? No, signature abilities come from kits. Okay. Strike Now. Are these heroic abilities? No, those come later. So yeah, they're just regular abilities. We've got a lot on here. Strike Now. Okay. Keywords. Ranged. Main action. Distance. Range 10. Target. 1 ally. Power roll? No. Effect. The target can use a signature ability as a free triggered action. Spend 5. You target 2 allies instead of 1. I'll change the words, the numbers, just to make it a little bit smaller. Okay. Target can use a signature ability as a free action. I can just tell someone like, hey, use a signature ability right now. Go. Okay. Tactician abilities, kit signature ability. Each kit from your field arsenal feature contains a signature ability. Signature abilities can be used at will. Cool. Okay. Heroic abilities. The 3 focus ability. So we could choose Battle Cry, Concussive Strike, Inspiring Strike, or Squad Forward. Can move up to their speeds. Make them go again. Galvanizes your team. Leaves your foe struggling to respond. Inspires your team. Okay, so let's go with I like how they gave us an icon for like, this is the icon for the quick build. Oh, it's gold. I see. It's hard to see. I was like, they all have it. No, it's literally just the gold part. Okay. Let's do... That one does damage. We don't need another one that does damage. So let's do Squad Forward. That seems like it'd be useful in weird ways. Ranged. Maneuver. Ranged. 10. Self and 2 allies. See, adding the number changes how it's so much. It fits so much better now. It wasn't fitting before, and now it does. Oh, okay. Power roll. No, it's just an effect. Usually you'd fill these in, but I'm keep choosing ones that are like passives. I don't have to roll. Each target can move up to their speed, so I can get 2 allies and me to just get a push forward. Alright, heroic ability. This is for the 5 focus one. Alright, you know what I'm choosing? Hammer and Anvil. That is going to be 5 focus. This is a lot of typing, so we'll see if it fits. Melee, ranged, strike, weapon, main action. The distance is melee 1 or ranged 5. Probably melee 1. Target. 1 creature, one creature or object. Almost. And then the power roll, now we're actually filling this in. So 5 plus, oh no, power roll is just going to be power roll plus might, so 2, because we have 2 might. 5 plus 2 is 7, so 7 damage. 1 ally within 10 squares can use a signature ability against the target. Look at that. See, like, no. 9 damage. It's the same thing. 1 ally with or within 10 squares can use a signature ability. Oh wait, you can use. Hold on, this is different. One ally within 10 squares of you, and 10 squares can use a signature ability that gains an edge as a free action. So not only can they use their signature ability, now they have advantage basically. Oh, it's not 9. Sorry, I did the math wrong. It's 9 plus my might, which would be 11. Okay. And then this one is 12 plus my might would be 14. That's pretty good. It's, I think, my best damage so far out of anything I have. So all of my abilities, none of them do damage, actually. This is the only one of my heroic abilities that do damage. I have my breath, and I can hammer and anvil people. Okay. 2 allies. Wait, I'm not doing the numbers. I already forgot. 1 ally. 1 ally. 2 allies. Within 10 squares of you can use signature abilities with an edge as a free action. Okay. Excellent. If the target is reduced to 0 stamina before one or both chosen allies have made their strike, the ally or allies can pick a different target. Nice. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. And this is not the only character we're going to make. I want to make a completely different one after this. I'm just enjoying the character making process because it's getting me used to, like, looking at stuff, understanding how classes work, so that, like, when I eventually get around to playing as a player or playing as a DM, I know people, like, can do and know vaguely what it does. Especially as a DM, actually, is kind of important. Okay, so it's getting me familiar with things. All right. So that's it for first level. We get a lot for first level, but that's kind of designed that way because they want us to, like, pop in as a hero already. So yeah. All right. And the book is very... I'm sure this would be more well designed in a book form and not a PDF. I have to scroll all the way through this shit. But I know that they said they designed the book to be used at the table. Like, it's supposed to be there with you while you're doing that. So yeah. Oh, expensive though. For the hardcover, expensive. I just looked it up real quick. I was like, how much is the hardcover? $70. 70 smackaroos. Which is totally doable, but it's expensive. All right. Expensive for a thing that I already have the PDF for. Okay. Kits. So, kits are basically your weapons and armor and stuff. You'll notice this whole thing was like, you're like, where are the weapons and armor? Well, here they are. I get 2 of them, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Okay. And then there's free strikes, which are their own thing. Anyway, arcane archer. So my kit options are arcane archer, cloak and dagger. Each of these come with a type of weapon and like bonuses and abilities. So kits are very important. So as a tactician, you can swap kits, which is really cool. However, really hard to put on this character sheet. They didn't give me room for that. Okay. Cloak and Dagger, Battle Mind. That's for like psionic stuff. Dual Wielder, Martial Artist, Guasimer. It's like a long spear fighter kind of thing. Stuff I want. Mountain. That's pretty good. Is there like a Retarius? No. Shining Armor. Yeah, Shield. For the prototypical knight. Sniper, Spell Sword, Swashbuckler. Sword and Board is the other one too. Makes your shield part of the offensive arsenal. Yeah, okay. He has a big shield, and he uses it. So those are the two kits, Shining Armor and Sword and Board. Now, you can swap between them, but I'm not entirely sure how that works. So, I'm going to have to look at that ability again. I'm going to do that right now. Before I start putting them on my thing. Classes. Let's see. Tactician. Fury? No. Or like 170s? No. Wait, Troubadour is after Tactician. And after Talent. Tactician. Okay. Let's see. Two kits. How does this work? Okay. You have drilled with a broad array of arms and armor and have developed techniques to optimize their use. You can use and gain the benefits of two kits, including both their signature abilities. Whenever you would choose or change one kit, you can choose or change your second kit as well. So I have them on at the same time. I'm not swapping, I have them on. Because why would you change your second kit when you change it? You know what I mean? If both kits grant you the same benefit, you take one or the other and can't change your choice until you finish a respite. That usually means taking the higher of two bonuses. For example, if you take the Shining Armor, which I am, and Sniper kits, you gain the following benefits. Stamina bonus, plus 12, right? Stability, plus 1. Melee damage, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Range damage, plus 0, plus 0, plus 4. Okay. Speed bonus, plus 1. Range distance bonus, plus 10. Disengage bonus, plus 1. You can use Patient Shot and Protective Attack signature abilities. Kit signature abilities have their kit's bonuses already applied, which might require you to adjust the bonus of the signature abilities you gain from a kit. For example, you might take the Martial Artist kit, a Martial Artist kit which gives melee damage bonus of plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and the Mounted kit, which gives melee damage a bonus of plus 0, plus 0, plus 4. If you choose to use the Mountain kit's damage bonus, and then the Battle Grace signature ability from the Martial Arts kit loses the plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Reducing its usual 5, 8, 11 damage for its tier 1 to tier 2 and tier 3 to 3, 6, 9. It then gains the plus 0, plus 0, plus 4 because okay, so it's baked into the abilities, assuming you have that kit. That makes sense. So for example, Protective Attack on Shining Armor is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. I have a plus 2, plus 2, plus 2 on the melee damage bonus. However, Protective Attack does 5 damage, 8, and 11 as its baseline. That's built in with the plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So I remove that. So it's 3, 6, 10, no, 9. And then we do the stuff. If I were to take a different melee damage bonus. For Sword and Shield, though, it's the same melee damage bonus, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so kit. Shining Armor / Sword and Board. Okay. Weapon or implement. We get heavy armor, a shield, and a medium weapon, and Sword and Board gives us a medium weapon. So, medium weapons. Medium weapon, which I'm going to take as... I got to find what that means again. I think that's way high in the list of things. Or actually, it should be in the kits. Hold on. Scroll up. Let's see. Medium weapon. Here it is. Medium weapons are one-handed melee weapons that can be carried into battle while leaving one hand free, allowing you to use that hand to hold an implement. Battle axes, clubs, longswords, and warhammers are medium weapons. I wish there were more examples, because, like, I don't know. I kind of get it, but I also, like, does a scimitar work, or is that a light weapon, you know? Battle axes, clubs, longswords. Well, let's go for a longsword. It's cool. It's classic, you know? And the other one is called Sword and Board. So, longsword. Armor. That gives us heavy armor. The other one gives us medium armor for Sword and Board. But we are taking heavy armor. We also get the ability to wield a shield. So we'll put that here. /shield. Okay. Heavy armor. So that's going to be plate armor. That's how you spell that. Classic plate armor. Okay. So this gives us 12 stamina bonus. So that's per echelon. So as we like level up in groups. An echelon is like, first through third level is first echelon. Third through, 7th level is second echelon. And then 7th through 10th is, that kind of thing. It's like levels of play. So I get 12 extra stamina per echelon. P. So that's going to be, I get 12, so 32 stamina. Tanky. No speed bonus. 1 stability bonus. So my stability is now 1. I might get another one. No, it doesn't stack. So Sword and Board also gives 1 stability bonus, does not stack. Stamina bonus is only 9 per echelon, so we take the 12. But I do get a disengage bonus. That's fun. I think it's just 0 default as well. Okay, so let's grab our 2 signature abilities. Oh, I never wrote the complication down. Oh, no, we're not there yet. No, that's why I didn't write it down. We're not there yet. Okay, signature ability. Shining Armor. Keywords. Oh, no, it's not called Shining Armor. It's called Protective Attack. There we go. Keywords are melee, strike, weapon. The type is main action. I might start shortening these to like MA, main action. Maneuver, M. Main action. Main action. T. M. M. That was maneuvering, right? Oh, no, it was a main action. See, you gotta remember. There we go. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful for me or not, but we'll see. Anyway, distance. Melee 1. Target 1 creature. Power roll plus might or agility, so 2. This would be 7 damage. Pretty basic. I like that it's just damage. Oh, no, not 8. I can do math. 10 damage. And 13 damage, which is pretty good. Okay, we're getting our damage abilities now. This is why we were missing them, because they were mainly in this. So we do have some free abilities. Like this is main action. Doesn't cost anything. We could just do this. The target is taunted until the end of the next turn. Excellent. What does a shield even do for me? I guess it's just a flavor thing. I have a shield. It doesn't give a bonus, except for these things, Okay, signature ability. Hold on, I'm moving my... I have 2 of the same PDF open, so I can jump between stuff and not have to, scroll constantly. I can have 2 things open. Okay. Okay, Sword and Board. Equipment. Got that. And all that stuff is already in. Abilities, that's what we were on. Okay. Shield Bash. Ooh. Keywords. Melee. Strike. Weapon. Type. Main action. Distance. Melee 1. Target 1. Creature. Power roll is going to be might or agility. That's going to be 2 because we want might. We don't have very good agility. That'd be 1 otherwise. 4 plus might So 6 push 1, 6 damage. I'm gonna write damage after so I know it's regular damage. 9 damage push 1, and then 11 damage push 3. Actually, I lied. This is push 2. Push 3, and then might greater than 2. If might is less than 2, prone. So what this is called a potency. That's what's going on here. Essentially, if the creature's might that I'm fighting is less than 2, it knocks them prone along with pushing them. Like, knocks them to the ground, they slide. You know what it is? Hold on. I have a perfect example of what this does. Perfect example. Yeah. That's what that was. That's what the shield bash ability does. You couldn't hear it, but he yells, "Tell me how the grass tastes, little man," before he knocks him down. Anyway. So we're good there. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that at all. Okay. Next up, next thing. We add our free strikes. So free strikes are these things. They're like things that are going to be worse than our regular strikes, and they're always kind of the same. We'll get to that in a second. You can see they're like default. They have things already built in. So melee 1. The reason why these are still typable is because some things change your free strike slightly. Although I had one that changed my free strike to like a mind spike, but like I couldn't change some things that it did change. Like on this sheet, it was weird. So that's going to be +2. And you can see it written out here. So it'd be 2 plus might, so 4. And that's literally the math is here. 4 plus might, so 6. Although it says 2 plus might, this says 5 plus might in the actual book, and it says 4 plus might on the sheet. So that's a lie. So it's actually 7. Because the book says 5 plus might. And then 7 plus might, so that would be 9. So this is incorrect. It's the same over here. No, it's correct here. So this is plus might or agility. Let's do 4, 6, 8. So it's meant to be a slightly like stronger version. The distance is ranged 5. So what it is like an improvised weapon or a punch. So this is literally going to be pommel strike from the back of my sword. Bam. Like just a cheap little shot. This is what you could do if you don't want to do any of these other things. But why not do protective attack? Or I guess you don't want to taunt the thing. Okay. Why not do shield bash? Well, you don't want to push the thing. So then you do a pommel strike. You're like fucking just a quick. Although I don't have any sword swipes. Weird. All of my stuff is like shield, pommel, shield. Like I guess this is an attack with my sword. Anyway, ranged free strike. This is going to be something simple like throw rock, but rock is too simple. Actually, kick rock. Basically, I just kick a big rock at someone and like beans them in the head. That's just kind of funny and tactical. Okay. Okay. Next, we choose our complication. Wait. Kit. We're supposed to choose our complication, but actually we're choosing our perks. Okay, so perks are things that you get based off of other stuff, usually your career. You do get them off your class later down the line. But for now, Let's see. Heroes don't just fight monsters, they engage in exploration, investigation, negotiation, and more. Perks are features you can use to customize your hero and give them heroic moments outside of combat. So, yeah, we have perks. We have to choose one from the which category? Exploration perk. Ooh. Okay, so let's go to the exploration perks. These are pretty, like, the exploration perks are very, like, helpful in a way. Yeah, like a danger sense, a friend catapult, catching someone when they fall, you know, that kind of thing. Let's see. Camouflage Hunter, no. But that is kind of cool. Friend Catapult is interesting. I'm gonna take I've Got You. That's kind of a fun thing to have. Just be able to catch people. Whenever a willing ally falls and would land on you or adjacent to you, you can safely catch them as a free triggered action. Neither of you takes damage from the ally's fall. Okay. Hell yeah. That's our perk for right now. We get one. We'll have more later, and, you know, again, if I ever to play this character, I'd write this all out. I'd just, like, copy what's on the sheet down. So that I would, yeah. Anyway, this has always been a problem with all TTRPGs, fitting all your stuff on your stupid character sheet. I think they have, like, in the Draw Steel resources, I think they have, like, extra sheets. Encounter sheet, hero cards, character sheet. No, hero cards are little small cards for each individual hero. So we can real quickly see them. It's for, like, your DM, like little cards for, yeah, that's actually really nice. NPC cards do the same thing. Montage sheet. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I have to really sit down and read this book because I don't know how montages work at all. Negotiation sheet. Sorry, I'm just looking through stuff now. Yes. Okay. I'll have to print out a bunch of these and just, like, have them when I'm running the game. Okay. And the encounter sheet is neat, too. Probably unnecessary, but it is really cool to have and to old school style write all this stuff out. Okay. Let's see, how much is the Dragon Shield? Right, it's $1 billion. Sorry, I'm distracted in, like, online shopping now. Anyway, Dragon Shield's got some cool shit. Alright, anyway. I think it's probably the next thing I get at work. I got a discount at work, and so in a couple of weeks, probably, if it's still there, I'm gonna grab that. Okay. Maybe I wait a little longer. I've been buying a lot of stuff. Okay, commanding presence. 1 sec. I'm thinking. What's next on the list? So we did our perk. Now we go to the complication. That's it. Alright. We're almost done. It only took us nearly 2 hours. Okay. Alright. Complication. Now, the complication list is huge. There are 100 different complications. And you can roll a D100 to find out what they are, or you can choose one. And complications are fun because they give you a really cool benefit, and they also give you a really cool downside. I'm going to say I recommend taking a complication on every character. You do not need to, but I recommend it. But for example, let me read through my complications. You ready? Okay. Read through the list of potential complications and not explain them, just read the names. Advanced studies, amnesia, animal form, anti-hero, artifact bonded, bereaved, betrothed, chaos touched, chosen one, consuming interest, corrupted mentor, coward, crash landed, cult victim, curse of caution, curse of immortality, curse of misfortune, curse of poverty, curse of punishment, curse of stone, cursed weapon, disgraced, dragon dreams, elemental inside, Evanisera, I don't know what that means. Sorry, that's me. Exile, fallen immortal, famous relative, fey touched, fiery ideal, fire and chaos, following in the footsteps, forbidden romance, frostheart, getting too old for this, Nolmald, greening, grifter, grounded, guilty conscience, that's a good one, hawk rider, host body, hunted, hunter, indebted, infernal contract, but like bad, ivory tower, life bonded, lightning soul, loner, lost in time, lost your head, lucky, master chef, meddling butler, medium, Medusa blood, misunderstood, mundane, outlaw, pirate, preacher, primordial sickness, prisoner of the similary, promising apprentice, psychic eruption, raised by beasts, refuge, rival, rogue talent, runaway, searching for a cure, secret identity, secret twin, self-taught, sewer folk, shadowborn, shared spirit, shattered legacy, shipwrecked, sibling shield, siblings shield, silent sentinel, slight case of lycanthropy, stolen face, strange inheritance, stripped of rank, thrill seeker, vampire scion, voice in your head, vow of duty, vow of honesty, waking dreams, war dog collar, war of assassinations, ward, winterborn, woad walker, wrathful spirit, wrongly imprisoned. There's a lot of these that I think are cool. War dog collar I think is super interesting. What is... Okay. Hold on, I gotta open up my Monsters PDF real quick. Hold on. That's the wrong... Hold on. Open it via Firefox. Okay, let's see. Monsters. The hell is a war dog? Ajax the Invincible. Yeah. No, I want war dogs. War dogs, 297. Okay, war dogs, brutal patchwork soldiers owe their new lives to the Iron Satan. Fight for him fanatically. War dog minions are freshest recruits, possessing minimal patchwork qualities and generally treated as disposable. Those who survive battle are rewarded with gifts from the body banks. Those who don't survive become recycled back into the body banks to be reborn. Okay, so they're like weird zombies. Okay, back up. What if we go to... I want to know what's up with Ajax. Let's see. Let's see. Ajax the Invincible. I see. He's just a big guy, big bad guy, big bad guy, but like a sneaky big bad guy. Not everyone thinks he's a bad guy. Kind of just... All right, interesting. Okay. Give me my answer there. It's not a war dog collar. Wrongly imprisoned. Stripped of rank is probably good. or defected from an evil army. You make your own way in the world. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Okay, stripped of rank. That's with my thing here. Benefit. You gain the issue order ability. So I can make someone move. Wait, I already have that. Hold on, wait. Squad forward, each target can move. So I can make someone move for free. I can make one person move for 3, or can make 3 people move, or 2 people plus me move if I spend focus. So it is a lot of like, I do a lot of order issuing, which is fine. You gain the issue order ability. Drawback. Rather than attracting followers at 3, 6, 9, and 12 renown, you can attract followers only when your renown reaches 4, 8, 12, and 16. That doesn't mean anything to me, but we'll take it. Let's put issue order in my ability list. He's got a lot of abilities. All right. Issue order. Paul, move or die. Range. That's probably what he would say. Move or die. That's how he sounds. That's how he sounds. I've decided. He's really deep and stupid and very growly. But he's got a heart of gold, you know? That would kill me if I had to do that for any length of time. I'd probably have to drop it down here where it's less growly and more like a... You know what it is? You played Marvel Rivals? I was making fun of the voice that they do for Moon Knight. Like, can't you? We gotta get over here, can't you? And like, that's what it sounds like to me. It's very like, he's very Mark Spector. My name's Mark Spector. I'm Moon Knight. So fucking silly. Okay. MA, main action, range 10, target 1 ally. The RuneScape music just isn't hitting right now. Alright. Power roll? None. Beep, bump. Beep, beep, bump. Effect. The target can use a triggered action. Why is this so much smaller? This would be great across the board. Why is this font? Are they all like that here? What the hell? Oh, but they're back to normal size here. It's just these that are small. I would have preferred the small by far. This sheet needs help. The character can use a triggered action to take a main action, maneuver, or a move action. Okay. So it's not just move. I can say like do a thing right now. I can make them take a main action, a maneuver, a move. They get to do one thing. Special. If you have the strike now ability, I do. The target can use a free triggered action instead of a triggered action. What? A free triggered action instead of a triggered action, yeah, to gain the benefit of this ability. This target uses a signature ability as a free triggered action. Oh, so I can... Wait, they combine. Okay, so strike now. I can make them do a signature ability as a free triggered action. Do it. Do your signature ability. Signature abilities are things from your kit, right? So shield bash or protective attack. I can make someone do one of theirs, right? And I can spend my focus to make it 2 targets instead of 1. But I choose one person and say, you, hit him. I can combine that. Hold on. The target can use this one main action. So I could use issue order. The target can use a triggered action to take a main action, a maneuver, or move action. Okay. If you have the strike now ability, the target can use a free triggered action instead of a triggered action to gain the benefit. Okay, so because I have strike now, this doesn't affect, they're different. But because I have strike now, I could say, hey, do something that's not a signature ability right now, and you can do it for free. It's not going to cost you triggered action. You'll still get to do your triggered action if you have it. That's cool. Because I have strike now, it makes it free. Excellent. Fuck yeah. That's a good combo. I didn't know that was a thing. Sometimes I want to like start the complication and be like, all right, that's what I want to do. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. There are some things that we miss, like wealth. I'm going to look up wealth. How the hell is wealth? Okay. Some careers increase your starting wealth score from a base of 1. So everyone has a base score of 1, which I didn't know. Good to know. I think I have 0 project points. Oh, I never filled this out for the kit. Fuck. Hold on, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. The extra... Oh, we already know what it is. It's the same across the board for ranged weapons, but for this, +2, +2, +2. I don't know. I guess this is for like other things, like augmentations or enhancements or something. On this too. Cool. Then this is done. Let's do a quick save on this. This character is named Gracius Telemar. Dragon Knight Tactician. Gracius Telemar, Dragon Knight Tactician. There we go. Save. Excellent. Well, we're done, but you know what that means. We're going to take a very small break. That's what that means. And then I'm going to make myself probably like a very small food real fast. And then we'll pop back right back in and do a fucking another one. I'm really enjoying this process. It's really teaching me a lot. Like I've already learned a lot just in this one. So yeah, I am excited to do another character. I'm going to do one that's not a martial character. I've done a couple of those. So we'll come back and we're going to do a magic character of some kind. I know we said we already did what's it called? A talent, but I kind of did that roll, so I didn't read anything. I went roll. All right, write that down. Roll. Okay, write that down. So I don't know much about how his stuff works. I kind of just glossed over it. So probably not going to make a talent though. I do already have one. Also, this has a secondary thing in that these are characters I actually want to play at some point. So I'm pre-making characters for like I'm probably gonna see if I can find a pickup game from the Draw Steel Discord. See if I can hop in someone else's game and play play this game. I want to try it as a player. I want to try it as a DM. And they're probably gonna give me the pre-gens if we do the original pre-generated thing, but it's fine. Okay. So, let's see. What other... No, that's not right. That's what I want. I need to go back up to Ancestry for this. Sorry, I'm muttering to myself. Okay. So, excuse me. Wait, no, this is over here. Oh, I'm gonna try a thing. Can I make this presentation? No. That's not what I wanted. Page scrolling, no. Horizontal scrolling? No, we don't want that. Though it is better, it looks more like the book. Yeah, that's awful. No, don't do that. Anyway. Hello? I guess we were doing wrapped scrolling. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure everything is set. All right, we're gonna take that break. I'm gonna go make myself some food real fast. I'm gonna think about what we're gonna do. I might have an idea. I might not. What are my options? Sensor, Conduit, Elementalist, Fury, Null, Shadow Tactician. I do want to play with Shadow and see what's there. I know I said no martial classes, but the idea of a Shadow is cool. I want to have a rogue of some kind. You know, I'm not with the Elementalist too. The thing is, we kind of checked out Elementalist because Elementalist is not like a mage. It is, but it's not really. Here, I'm gonna pop over to that real fast. Before we take a break, I'm gonna go look at that real quick. Okay, so if we go to Conduit. Conduit is kind of magic-like, but it's more like holy magic and stuff. Though they have some weird-looking spells and things. Okay. Elementalist. What is your specialization? Especially, fire. From the following options: fire, earth, fire, green, or void. Your elemental specialization is your subclass and choice. Ooh, a void mage would be really cool. All right. We'll do an elementalist. We know that much. I'm gonna write elementalist, and then we'll write void here, because everyone's gonna choose void, but it's way cooler than fire, earth, whatever. The element of mystery. Void abilities warp space and reality, allowing you to teleport, create illusions, and make things incorporeal. Woo! Although a simple fire mage would be pretty cool too. I don't know. It's weird that it's like Avatar, The Last Airbender shit, and not like, I don't know. I want more magic, like necromancy. Stuff like that. Whatever. It's a different system, different world. We'll be right back. I'm going to take that break I mentioned. Hold on, I'm gonna have to readjust my windows. There we go. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Get that food in the. We're back, baby. My soup is still cooking. I just put some hot water from my hot water tap into the into a cup of noodles. So waiting on that. So we'll be eating that as we go. Sorry about the sounds that'll make. All right. So character name. So let's start with we're doing elementalist this time. So some sort of mage. So we'll think about that as we go. But we'll keep that in mind that we're doing a magic user. So once again, first step is think. We did that a little bit. We want to do some sort of magic user. We don't know much else, so we'll think about it as we go. Let's see. Okay. So first is ancestry. We have got a lot of options. Again. Let's see. Yes. So we have human, devil, again, I'm going through the list again. Human, devil, polder, time raider, orc, woad elf, which is like a wood elf, high elf, dragon knight, mnemonic, dwarf, hakan, or revenant. I'm leaning revenant. That's my initial reaction because I think revenants are cool, although mnemonics are cool too. I'm probably never going to make a polder, personally. All the rest are far more likely in the list of things. Actually, dwarf is similar. Actually, Hakan, also, I don't know. Anyway, so as we're choosing between revenant or mnemonic, revenants are like dead people. Although I guess revenant isn't really its own ancestry, so technically I could be a revenant mnemonic. I don't know how that works because mnemonics are like, they're like robots, right? Hold on, we're gonna look this up. The mnemonics in my homebrew version of this are robots. Let's see. The native denizens of Axiom, the plane of uttermost law, mnemonics dwell in a land with lakes and trees and birds and flowers. But, yes, that's normal. But in this alien world, the lakes are seas of mercury, the birds glitter with wings of glass, and stretched gossamer thin, and the flowers' petals are iridescent metal, as flexible and fragile as any earthly rose. The minds of mnemonic are highly ordered. The reason is that they're great. The minds of mnemonic are highly ordered. The reason is their great pride. But when descending into the lower planes, including a manifold like Orden or law and chaos mix, a sickness comes over them, an uncontrollable sensation called emotion. Interesting. So they're like weird. What do they look like? I wish they would describe. I wish I would describe what they looked like a bit more, because there's a picture. There's a singular picture. And it's okay, but they're just kind of like purple and weirdly steampunk looking. Purple blue glass. I'm going to skip them. I'm going to be a revenant. Maybe a human revenant, probably. Yeah, let's do revenant. Let's go over revenant. All right. Revenant, I'm going to read this for you. The dead walk among us. Some of them are happier about it than others. Unlike the necromantic rituals that produce wights and wraiths and zombies, revenants rise from the grave through a combination of an unjust death and a burning desire for vengeance. Creatures sustained on pure will, they have no need of food or water or air, and unlike their zombified cousins, they retain all their memories and personality from life. These revenants are rare. Many are hunted by ignorant villagers who see only their dead flesh, and assume the worst. Those who survive the Pitchfork Brigade either choose a solitary life, often as a wandering soul seeking out living company, yet constantly in fear of it, or they migrate to a metropolis such as Black Bottom or Capital, where lost souls gather to make a home. Cool. Yeah. Revenant traits, signature trait, former life. So, Revenant. Something killed this person. I don't know what, but they were killed. Maybe this is in my head, for whatever reason, this is like the character's a lady. I don't know why. It just is. Yeah. Okay. Revenant. Signature trait, former life. Choose any ancestry you were before you died. Your size is that ancestry size. Your speed is 5, which is actually normal. Most people are 1 medium. Speed 5, disengage, and stability both 0. Renown 0. Wealth 1. There we go. We're good there. Okay. Former life, and then we get 2 signature traits: former life and ST. Former life. You don't receive any other ancestral traits for your original ancestry. Yes. Unless you select the particular trait to do it. So we'll keep this as size and speed are the same as former ancestry. Human. Just a basic undead human. Signature trait. Tough but withered. Okay. Your undead body grants you immunity to rot, cold, corruption, lightning, and poison damage equal to your level. We'll start there. Immunity to cold, corruption, lightning, and poison equal to your level. I think immunity just removes that damage. So like if I'm level 1, someone hits me with a 4 damage attack, I only take 3 damage kind of thing. If I understand it correctly. I have to double check and reread it, but additionally, when your stamina reaches the negative of your winded value, you become inert instead of dying. You fall prone and can't stand. You continue to observe your surroundings, but you can't speak. Take main actions, maneuvers, move actions, or triggered actions. While inert this way, if you take any fire damage, your body is destroyed and you die. Otherwise, after 12 hours, you regain stamina equal to your recovery value. When dead, instead become inert. Is this a Christmas song? It is. Look, it sounds like Jingle Bells. It totally was. Okay. Ooh, Minecraft song called Death. Oh, it's like really short. Never mind. I was like, oh, it fits for what we're doing. Okay. After lightning and poison equal to your level, when dead, instead become inert. You are aware, but can't do anything. After 12 hours, regain stamina equal to your recovery value. Cool. Done. All right. You get 2 ancestry points. This is another one. This is one of those races or ancestries that don't get 3 ancestry points. You only get 2. So I can either choose level 2 ability or 1 level or 1 or 2 1-point abilities. So there are only 3 2-point abilities, and they are Bloodless. For you, an open wound is indistinguishable from a scratch. You can't be made bleeding even while dying. That's pretty good. That's really good. Or Previous Life. You select a purchase trait that costs 2 ancestry points from your previous ancestry. That's also pretty good. You're like, hey, I wanted to be, this, so let's grab that kind of thing. Get the signature traits. Yeah, no, you don't. Okay. And then the other one is Vengeance Mark. As a maneuver, you place a magic sigil on a creature within 10 squares. When you place a sigil, you decide where it appears on the creature's body and whether the sigil is visible to you, only you, or all creatures. You always know the direction to the exact location of a creature who bears one of your sigils and is on the same world. You can have a number of active sigils equal to your level, and you can remove a sigil from a creature at will. No action required. If you already have the maximum number of sigils activated and you place a new one, the oldest sigil disappears with no other effect. Additionally, you have the following signature abilities, and that is Detonate Sigil. So it's just like you can just place bombs on people that you always know the location of, which could be useful if you have like a party member who's running away all the time. You don't blow them up, but like you just, I know where you are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on that, but I'm sure someone would be. You can also do Previous Life 1 point or Dead Influence 1 point. So if I take Dead Influence, I have to take Previous Life 1 point because I would have 1 point left, and that's the only thing that is 1 point. Your supernatural gifts allow you to influence other undead. You gain an edge on reason, intuition, and presence tests and interact with undead creatures. That's cool. I think I'm just going to go with Bloodless. The 2 point. Bloodless. For you, an open wound is indistinguishable from a scratch. You can't be made bleeding even while dying. Excellent. Can't bleed. Got no blood. How can I bleed if there's no blood? What would happen? Just no blood. I'm gonna drink some of my, or eat some of my soup that I made. So next up, let's see. Well, we did all our ancestry stuff, really. That was basically all of it. We don't get any other, like, abilities or anything. So we can just go straight to culture. And I'll think about that while I take a bite of my food. Ugh. Good soup. Cup noodle. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. The lid back on so it stays warm while I talk. Or stays mildly warm. Alright. Culture. So the natural culture for a revenant. What is that? I'm curious. They don't have one because revenants are other things. So it'd be a human culture. So that would be an urban communal labor. Oh, interesting. I would have thought that would have been like bureaucratic. But no. Urban communal. What was this person before? They were a mage. They learned magic. So I'm going to keep them as void, I think. So I'm going to keep them. Let's, instead of labor, let's give them academic, but not urban. No, yeah, urban in a city. And the organization is, and we're going to take bureaucratic again, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Culture. Urban. Excuse me. Bureaucratic. Upbringing is academic. Raised by people who collect study. I was raised by, mages in a tower somewhere many, many, many years ago. Okay. So urban. Urban gets, what does urban get? 1 skill from the interpersonal or intrigue skills. I don't have to write skills. 1 skill from interpersonal or intrigue. Okay. And we're going to choose. Let's see. Interpersonal is pretty good. Intrigue is pretty good. Let's do. He's a very smart person. I want to lean on the smartness aspect. So either like read person, which is kind of more instinct, for a lot of folks, or maybe, okay, hear me out, super smart and kind of a little autistic. And so they're really good at read person because they've had to learn how to do it, and because they get really focused on things, they focus on this idea of like, I want to learn all the way people, like they look at it very tactically or very what's the word? It's not instinct. It's like, oh, this person raised their eyebrow 3 millimeters. That means that they are interested. You know, like that kind of thing. It's kind of funny. Okay. 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 So there's a phrase I've heard. I don't know where I heard it, but it just popped into my head because I was thinking about this character and I was like, well, okay, in my head, it's like a female character. But then I was like, it'd be kind of fun to, for the first time ever, like, I don't know, it'd be kind of neat to play like an NB character, like a they them folk. And I was like, okay, but I still want them to be female bodied because in my brain that's how the character looks. And like a phrase I heard many, many years ago on like Reddit or Tumblr or 4chan, I don't remember where, probably not 4chan, but I heard it from somewhere on the internet, was the phrase like, God gives his biggest titties to the most non-binary girlies. And I think I'm leaning on that for this character in my brain. I think that's the visual. Not for any reason other than I think that phrase is really funny. But yeah. Let's go for it. That's funny to me. I don't know their name yet, but okay. Bureaucratic. 1 skill from interpersonal or intrigue groups. 1 skill from. That's another interpersonal or intrigue. Let's see. Interrogate would be good. Alertness is good. I want more like knowledge base. I mean, I'll get more of that in a second, probably. Okay. Let's go for not that. Let's go for lie. They're pretty good at lying. Why? I don't know. They just are. Maybe it's all that studying of human interaction. Okay. And then academic gives them 1 skill from lore skills. Okay. Let's go for, no, we're gonna save magic. I'm gonna give them magic as a skill later, because there is a complication that I want to use. I'll read it to you. I already know it's here. Consuming interest. Ever since you were a kid, you've been obsessed with a certain topic, and it's going to be magic. During your travels, you spend your free time gleaning all the information you can on that. Actually, I'm just going to put this in right now. We'll write this in right now because we already know. Okay. Consuming interest. Benefit. You have one skill of your choice from the lore skill group. Magic. You can use the study lore project up to 3 times for that skill, which increases it by like 3, so you get like +5, which is really good. You really know a lot about this thing. Each time you use this project, you must use a different project source. So like one's a book, one's a mentor, whatever. And the project goal increases. Okay. Drawback. You can't imagine ever being wrong on the topic of your obsession. Whenever you make a test to recall lore using your chosen skill, the director makes the test in secret. Instead of informing you if you were right or wrong, they provide you with correct or false info based on the result. So you don't know whether you're right or wrong. You're like, do I know anything about this magic thing? And like, all right, what's your roll? This is the roll. The director rolls it in the background. And then you can't see the numbers. You can't see, so you're not rolling it. So it's not like, oh, I rolled a 3. It's like, director, you have to roll this for me, right? Click my magic, and they go, oh, they got a 3. Oh, you know, like this is definitely a Findleback or something. Like, oh, or this is a wand of disintegration. However, it's out of charges, but it's fully charged. You know, that kind of thing where you just give them the wrong information because they got it wrong, but they know for a fact this is how it is. I know some people like that. Well, they will just state for a fact, oh, it's this way. And you're like, okay, how are you so sure? I'm like, oh, I just know because of these things. I'm like, okay. And then it turns out they're wrong. Like, well, okay, and, you know, it's like that. It's a whole thing. And maybe a little bit of me in there. All right. Languages. We already know. Kalian, and I'll figure out the rest later. Actually, this is what we're figuring out now. I got distracted by the flaw. I forgot. Or the complication. I'm going to give them the typical human language that's not Kalian, which is Bezlorian. Yeah. Okay. Career. All right, what was our career? Probably something mage related. Artisan, beggar, criminal, disciple. Disciple could be? No, that's church only. Okay. Explorer, farmer, gladiator, laborer, mage's apprentice. Pretty good. Sage is pretty good. I do like sage. What's Mage's Apprentice difference? One supernatural perk. Or Sage is one lore perk. Yeah, we'll Sage. All more lore stuff. Okay. So career, sage. Whoops, not all caps. Sage. Sage. Benefit. Skills. 2 skills from lore. I'm gonna choose. This person knows a lot of things. History and history and culture. No, history and religion. Because what is religion but fancy or different magic? Language. 1 language, which is funny that the soldier gets 2. I get 1. I don't know if this counts as my 1 language. I feel like everyone knows Kalian, and then my ancestry knows Veslorian. So my 1 language for my career should give me 1 more, right? Which I would then do as like Hylian, is that what it's called? The elf one. Hold on, I gotta scroll down to languages again. Hilrake. Hylian is, Legend of Zelda. Why is this, like, Halo-ass music? Okay. Okay, and then we also have 1 language, which we got, and then project points 240. So I already am on my way to getting another upgrade to the magic. Perk, 1 lore perk. Cool. Okay. Let us see. Inciting incident. Let's see. What are our options? Bookish ideas. You're always content to live a peaceful life in your library until you found that 1 book, the one that told you the tale of heroes who had saved the timescape. They didn't spend their days behind a desk. They made a real difference. It was time for you to do the same. That's pretty good. Cure the curse. You used to think knowledge could fix everything. You were wrong. When someone you love fell under a curse, the means to cure them couldn't be found in any of the books you own. But that wasn't going to stop you. The answers are out there, and you'll find them even if you have to face your own death. Face down death to do so. Lost library. An evil mage took all your books for themselves, cackling at your impotence as they raided your shelves. Now you're off to search through ancient ruins and secret libraries to rebuild the collection of rare tomes, and to find the mage who stole from you. Paper guilt. While transcribing ancient texts, you and another scribe discovered a shelf of long-forgotten books. At your suggestion, your companion started to work on one, and vanished along with the tome. Your guilt drove you to seek them out, and your still missing friend to prevent the others from falling to similar dangers. Unforeseen futures. In your pursuit of ancient knowledge, you discovered a prophecy that has yet to come to pass, and that prophecy involves someone who might be you. Might be you. Since your discovery, strange dreams have plagued you, driving you to seek out your destiny. Or vanishing. At first, you thought it was your imagination, and you brushed off the disappearances of random sentences in historical books. Then, as the books began to change into entirely blank pages, the disappearance became difficult to ignore, particularly those involving ancient or critical text. Driven by the desire to preserve knowledge, you've made it your purpose to restore and reverse those vanishing texts before they forever disappear. I just like bookish ideas. I'm gonna go with bookish ideas. Bookish ideas. You were always... And this is how they died, by the way. They weren't undead when they did this. To live a peaceful life in your library until you found that 1 book, the one that told tales of heroes who had saved the timescape. They didn't spend their days behind a desk. They made a real difference. It was time for you to do the same. Use all that magic knowledge for good instead of just hoarding it. Okay. Cool. We're going a little faster, I feel like, this time. In my brain, I know more about what we're doing because we just did one. All right. So that's career. We got our 2 skills. Oh, no, we didn't. 2 skills from the lore. No, history, religion. Yeah, we did. 1 language, we did that. 1 lore perk. Got it. Excellent. Okay. Next is going to be our class. Well, we know what class we've chosen. Simple. We have chosen the Elementalist. Which we don't have to scroll that far for, thankfully. Elementalist. All right. So we come with a default of reason of 2. Okay, just a reason of 2. That's their only default. Interesting. All the others I've had have had like 2 defaults, like, you know. That actually means our array options are different too. We can choose 2, 2, -1, -1, 2, 1, 1, -1, 2, 1, 0, 0, or 1, 1, 1, 0. Might can be low. Agility can be low. Let's do. Hold on. 2. I mean, yeah, 2, 1, 0, 0. There we go. So now we have, you know, we're decently agile. We've got no presence at all. No might at all. Although presence could be good, actually. No, hold on. What if we did instead the 2... Reason was the only one I had? Okay, wait. Hold on. Forgot what intuition is. Hold on, let's find out. I gotta remember what these things are. Okay, intuition. A creature's capability to recognize a faint sound as the approach of a distant rider, quickly read the tale of a bluffing gambler, calm a rearing horse, or track a monster across the tundra is intuition. Reason, puzzle unlocks a door, record lore about necromancy, decipher a coded message, etc., etc. Okay? Presence presents a force of personality, a creature's capacity to lie to a judge, convince a crowd to join a revolution, inspire and impress a queen. That's going to be low too. They're just reason. I want them to be a reason machine. So yeah, actually, let's do 1 more 2. Or we could do 1 more 2 and then -1. Ooh, or 2, 1, 1, -1. They're pretty agile. To backflip out of danger, shoot a crossbow, dodge an explosion, pluck keys from a guard's belt. Yeah. I'd rather put that in intuition over agility. So I'm gonna have 2 more 2s basically, and then 2 -1s, or 1, 2, a couple of 1s, a -1, 1, 2, a 1, and 2 0s. That's probably what I'm probably gonna go back to that. So let's give the 2 to presence, and then a 1 to agility, and then 0 to these 2. Might and intuition. Intuition is terrible. No instincts at all. It's all learning. The presence, they've got good presence. All right. First level features elemental specialization. We had to choose one. We choose Void, even though there are elemental specializations. There are other ones, like Rot, which I would love to use, but we can't. We choose between Earth, Fire, Green, or Void. No air. No water. Okay, so Void, Acolyte of Mystery. Elemental specialization. Void. And then Void, Acolyte of Mystery. You use your immersion in the mystery of Void magic to expand the reach of that magic better than other mages. The distance of all your abilities have the magic range, and Void keywords increase. Wait, hold on. The distance of all your abilities that have the magic, ranged, and Void keywords increases by 2 squares. Okay, so I get more range of my Void. Increase void abilities by 2 squares in range. Done. Okay. Essence. What is this? Okay. You channel the substance of creation in the form of a heroic resource called essence. Oh, that's my heroic resource. Got it. Essence. I actually didn't know which one this one was called. All right. Because research called essence, gathering and burning it to cast and maintain spells. At the start of a combat encounter or some other stressful situation tracked in combat rounds, you gain essence equal to your victories. At the start of your turns during combat, you gain 2 essence. At the start of each of your turns, I just gain 2 essence. Okay. Additionally, the first time each combat round that you or a creature within 10 squares takes damage that isn't untyped or holy damage, you gain 1 essence. You or a creature within squares, you lose any remains. Yeah. Does that include allies? It just says each, or a creature. As creatures aren't allies, it would specify allies, I'm assuming. I don't know. Let's see. Into essence. Alright. Cool. Essence outside of combat. When you use a persistent ability outside of combat, see persistent magic. You maintain it for a number of rounds equal to your victories. Okay. Do we all get Hurl Element? Yes. Hurl Element. You have the following ability, which can be used as a ranged free strike. Okay, so here's something like this. So this thing gave me an extra ranged free strike. There were different ranged free strike. So I edit my ranged free strike. However, because it's weird, I can't add magic to this, but magic should be added to this, right? Like, actually, I probably can. Give me a second. Text, color, size, yeah. Magic. I'm adding it. Adding text. Okay. Magic range strike. Main action. 1 creature or object. Distance. Range 10. It does not have all 3 of the things it needs, like ranged magic and void, so this doesn't count. Power roll plus reason. That's going to be 2. And this will be 2 plus reason, so 4. 4 plus reason, 6. And then 6 plus reason, 8. This is called Hurl. Cast a ball of elemental energy at a foe. Hurl the void. So little black holes or something, I don't know. When you make a strike, choose the damage type from any of the following: acid, cold, corruption, fire, lightning, poison, or sonic. Okay. Hurl element is the proper one for that. I'm going to put some text in here. That's close enough. Can I make this, like, more condensed? No. Okay. All right. Persistent magic. Some of your heroic abilities have persistent effect entry. For example, the instantaneous excavation ability has the effect noted as persistent 1. Whenever you use a persistent ability, you decide whether you want to maintain it and start doing so immediately after you first use the ability. If you maintain a persistent ability in combat, you reduce the amount of essence you earn at the start of your turn by an amount equal to the ability's persistent value, which enables the ability's persistent effect. All your active persistent abilities end at the end of the encounter. Okay. You can't maintain any abilities that would make you earn a negative amount of essence at the start of your turn. You can stop maintaining an ability at any time. If you maintain the same ability on several targets and the effect includes a power roll, you make that power roll once and apply the same effect to all targets. The creature can't be affected by multiple instances of a persistent ability. If you take damage equal to or greater than 5 times your reason score in one turn, which would be 10, if I take 10 damage, you are... you take 10 damage or more, it causes you to stop maintaining the ability. Correct. I didn't give myself... Hey, what's my starting... Oh, I didn't do any of this. Hold on. Starting stamina, 18. Recoveries, 8. Cool. Didn't write that down. Anyway. Practical magic. You gain the following ability. Practical magic. What does this do? Oh, Lord. Practical magic. Keywords. Magic. Type. Maneuver. Distance. Self. Self. No power roll. Actually, you know what? This would probably be better not on one of these. Probably one of these, maybe? Like, right, practical magic or whatever. It's fine. 3 effects. Page 114. Let's see. You can use the knockback maneuver, but its distance becomes the range of your hurl element ability and a reason instead of might for the power roll. You can choose a creature within distance of your hurl element ability and use one of the following types. A creature takes damage of the chosen type equal to your reason score. Wait, you can choose a creature within the distance of your hurl element ability and one of the following damage types. Isn't that just using hurl element? I guess it's a maneuver, so I can make him take extra damage. I don't know how or why. You can teleport up to a number of squares equal to your reason score. If you choose this option, you can spend the essences to teleport to an additional square for each essence spent. Got it. Knockback. Extra damage. Blink. Okay, first level specialization feature. Void. A beyonding of vision. What a fucking name. Okay, you instantly recognize illusions for what they are. You can see invisible creatures and supernatural effects. That can't conceal creatures and objects from you. Additionally, you always know if an area or an object you observe is magical or affected by magic. You know the specifics of what the magic can do. You also gain the following ability. Shared Void Sense. Hold on, I'm going to put this under class features. Did I put the others down here? Practical magic. A beyonding of vision. Can recognize illusions. See invisible creatures. Okay, so they've got to have really fancy eyes, like really like voided out eyes or something. And supernatural effects can't conceal creatures from you. You always know if something, if a creature or object is magical or affected by magic, and you know the specifics of what that magic can do. That's really strong. Beyonding. That's really like all mystery gone. Okay. Shared Void Sense. Keywords. Magic. Ranged. Void. Type. Maneuver. Distance. Ranged. 12. Because it would be 10, but I get the +2 from my specialization. Special. Oh, sorry. Yeah, special. Power roll, none. None of this shit. Okay. For each victory you have, Target 1 creature. Each target gains the benefits of a beyonding of vision until the end of your next turn. Done. Doesn't get the shared sense though. It just gets the beyonding of vision kind of thing. So I can share my magic sight with people. Okay. We'll move on to the specialized triggered action. For that will be subtle relocation. This here, subtle relocation. Keywords: magic, ranged, void. You know what that means. Type, triggered. Oh wait, I can do a T. That's right. I'm doing this like M. Excuse me. And MA. I'm remembering now. Okay. Triggered. Distance. Ranged. 12. Target. Self or one ally. Okay. Trigger. The target starts their turn. Target starts their turn. Moves or is forced to move. So if someone starts their turn, moves, or is forced to move at all, you can teleport the target up to a number of squares equal to your reason score. If the target moves to trigger this ability, you can teleport them at any point during the move. Spend 1. You teleport the target up to a number of squares equal to twice your reason score instead. Bam. All right. Cool beans. All right. Enchantment. That's one that we all get. Magic, practical magic. Enchantment, elementalist ward, elementalist abilities. Okay. Enchantment. You weave an elemental enchantment into your body that enhances your statistics. Choose one of the following enchantments. You can change your enchantment and ward, so we're performing a complex ritual as a respite activity. Enchantment of battle. So these are like instead of kits, essentially. You gain a +1 bonus to speed and the distance you shift when you make the disengage action. We don't get kits, do we? Or do we? Hold on. I'll look into kits real fast. Chapter 6 kits. Take me there. Wait, kit. You can use again if it's a kit. More information, see the word. Okay, no, it literally would have to be listed. You can use and benefit a kit. Wasn't there a kit though that's like robe and staff? Am I crazy? Warrior priest, swashbuckler, sword and board, spell sword, stick and robe. Simple reach weapon, often a courtier. Okay, no, it is literally about like having a quarter staff, not a staff. Okay. Okay, enhancement. We can take battle enhancement, enhancement of celerity, enhancement of destruction, enhancement of distance, enhancement of performance, or sorry, permanence. I mean, it could be even more ranged, you know? Could be kind of fun. Because then it would increase my range free strike to 12 also. And then this would be 14 for these. Yeah, let's do that. Enchantment of distance. So this becomes 14. So my defense is staying away from shit. And then this becomes 12. Basically, any ranged ability gets another +2. Okay. Enhancement. And sorry, enchant of distance slash something ward. We'll get there in a second. Book. My armor is clothing. This isn't, it's not a light armor or whatever, you know, sort of thing. Okay. Hold on, I'm skipping this. Okay, let's see. Ward. Ward of Delightful Consequences. A protective field of void magic absorbs violence aimed at you, then lets you hurl it back at enemies. The first time each round you take damage, you gain 1 surge. Or you use a shield of all elements and around yourself, channeling their protective power. You have immunity according to your reason score. The green energy writhing within your body allows you to produce powerful vines when you're in danger. Nope. Ward of Surprising Reactivity. To use the magic of fire to create a ward of explosive energy. Okay. So we could take the Void one or take the All Things one. I kind of want to lean hard into the Void magic because it's cool, but it just makes me do more damage back instead of actually protecting myself, and I don't have a lot of health. Or I won't have a whole lot of stamina. So let's go for Ward of Excellent Protection. Ward of Excellent Rot. Okay, so that's going to give me this. And then it's kind of weird with its spacing, but that's fine. We can fix it. Fire. Okay, cool, we're good there. I'm just going to do this. There we go. All ranged distance +2. Excellent. All right. This doesn't add anything. Weapons? What are they? None of this gets changed. This is all from kits. I'm not getting any of that. Okay, signature abilities. God, the music is intense right now. Choose 2 signature abilities from the following options. Signature abilities can be used at will. I can choose Afflict a Bountiful Decay. Your curse causes your foe's flesh to rot off as spores and that age your allies. Bifurcated Incineration. 2 jets of flame lance out at your command. Grasp of the Beyond. Absorb life energy of another creature and use it to teleport. That's fun. The Green Within, the Green Without. Meteoric Introduction. Give your enemy a gentle tap like an asteroid impact. Technically that's Earth. Interesting. Is that one void? That is void. Ray of Agonizing Self-Reflection. You inflict pain and doubt in equal measure. Unquiet Ground. Viscous Fire. I'm going to take Grasp of the Beyond and Meteoric Introduction, I think. Oh, wait, the Flesh, a Crucible? No, yeah, no. Yes, which will give me corruption damage, but then also straight regular damage. Just drop it, but the meteor will be like it'll like open a portal in the sky and drop a meteor from space kind of thing. Like it's not, or even if it's a small meteor, but you know what I mean? It's meant to be still void, because to me void is like space. So Grasp of Beyond. Keywords. Magic. Melee Strike Void. Wait, hold on. I don't know if I want this. Well, I guess if someone gets close, I can use it to get out. I don't know. And the other one's also melee. Hold on. We don't want to do that. We're all about range stuff. Let's Let's do Grasp of Beyond for emergencies. They get too close, we suck out their life energy and teleport away. That's the point of that. We're gonna be really annoying to track down. This is an emergency. One creature. Power roll. Actually does have one. +2 because of reason. And this will be 5 corruption damage. That's a big word. 8 corruption damage. And 11 corruption damage. Okay. And the effect is you can teleport a number of squares equal to your reason score. You can teleport a number of squares equal to your reason score. So, I can't get too far away. But if I need to, like, quickly get out of a situation that I'm in melee and I shouldn't be, especially if I'm being surrounded, I could use this to get behind a teammate or something. Okay. Signature ability. Other one will be Ray of Agonizing Self-Realization. Because that's funny. Self-reflection, excuse me. Okay. This one is Magic Ranged Strike Void, which means I get to increase the range. Ranged to 14 because it's +2 from my Void stuff and then +2 from my other bonus. Target one creature or object. Power roll 2. Okay, so this would be 4 corruption damage. So most of my stuff's gonna be corruption damage. If reason is less than wait, do I have, what's my potency? -2, -1, 1. Okay. So if reason is less than weak, so 0. If reason is less than 0, slowed. And then this is 6 corruption damage. If reason is less than 1, slowed. And then 8 corruption damage. So I open with this one. Keep them slow and away from me. Reason less than 2, slowed. Excellent. And obviously this changes as you level up because your ability scores, whatever, go up. But cool. And there's no effect. Excellent. Oh, the Flash Crucible is a mystery, as a heroic ability anyway. Okay, heroic abilities. 3 essence abilities. I'm probably going to take Behold the Mystery, just because I'm leaning heavily into the Void stuff, because it's cool. Now, you could go for a mage that like does everything, and honestly, that might be a really, really cool build to have a bunch of different elements, and you just sort of juggling them, sort of evoker style. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going heavily into the Void mage. In my head, actually, it's kind of Xalatath looking. Here, I'll get a picture for those who haven't been playing WoW lately. Like when I think Void Mage, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking of. You know? Void Mage is basically what she is. A little less sinister though, you know? Anyway. Okay, heroic abilities, Behold the Mystery is probably what I'm gonna go for. Yep. Does this have... Oh, it does have persistent. Okay. Behold the Mystery. Cost 3. Keywords. Area. Magic. Ranged. Void. Now the question is, does that affect... Is that triggered my Acolyte of the Mystery? If it has magic, it does. Ranged and void increases by 2 squares. So the range of this is bigger by a decent amount. 3Q within 10. So does that increase 3 cube within 10. So does that mean within 12? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. I will... 12? Three cube within 12? Okay. The type is main action. The target is each enemy in area. The power roll is plus reason. 2 psychic damage. It's a big AoE thing though. 4 psychic damage. And this is flat. It's always going to be this. 6 psychic damage. So this will be good for the beginning, and then eventually it'll just be like a light tap kind of thing. At the start of your turn, you can use a maneuver to use this ability again without spending essence. Oh wait, I can just write, hold on. Persistent 1. At the start of your turn, you can use a maneuver to use this ability again without spending essence, but you don't gain an essence. If I use Persistent 1, I can start it and be like, okay, start my turn, use Persistent 1, keep it going. I just only gain 1 essence that turn instead of 2, you know? So it still does change it. But I like being able to write, like, magic style things, like Persistent 1 or whatever. Okay. 5 essence abilities. Conflagration, that's fire. Instantaneous excavation, that's earth. No more than a breeze, void, which does have the range, so it would be 14 range. And then test of rain, call that a rain, burns your enemies and restores your allies. That's fun. The material substance of a creature shreds away at your command. Until the start of your next turn, the target can move through solid matter. Okay, well, we'll get to that. Hold on, we're going to start writing this stuff down first. No more than a breeze. Cost 5. Keywords, magic, ranged, void, maneuver. I haven't written out maneuver anywhere else, have I? I keep starting to and then stopping. Okay, we're good. Got all the fucking lore stuff and then nothing everywhere else. Not good at anything. Alright. Distance. That's going to be ranged 14 is the bonus. Target. Self or one ally. Power roll. None. And none of these. Until the start of your next turn, the target can move through solid matter. They ignore difficult terrain, and their movement can't be provoked. Ignore diff terrain, and can't provoke opportunity attacks. If the target ends their turn inside, they are forced out into the space where they entered. Persistent 1. The effect lasts until the start of your next turn. Lasts until the start of next turn. Excellent. Okay. Cool. So, Void Mage is a lot of, like, teleporting in portals and moving stuff around. That's fun. Okay. Next up... let's fucking go to, let's see, culture, career, class, kit. We're skipping. We don't have a kit. Add free strikes. We have to finish our melee free strike. This is going to be hit with book. Distance, melee 1. Power roll, might or agility. Oh yeah, and this changed it to, the hurl element let me change it to, reason. I forgot about that. I mean, I already did that, but power roll. Wait, what's my might or agility? Agility 1. 1. 3. No, wait. It's 2, and then the book says it's 5 plus your thing. So this is actually 3, 6, 8. Okay. Complication. We already have that. Determine details. No, we're good there. We still need to get the perks done. So let's go get those. Perks. Give me perks. Perks. Okay, we won from the lore thing from earlier. Eidetic memory, expert sage. Whenever you take a test as part of a crafting or research project using a skill from this lower skill group, you can make the power roll twice and use either roll. So I can guarantee my research project stuff. That's pretty good. You can say... yeah. Specialist. Being an expert on a particular subject, choose one skill. You have a lore skill group. Always have double edge on tests made to recall lore using the skill. Additionally, your specialist knowledge grants you notoriety in fields related to the chosen skill. You treat your renown as 1 higher than when negotiating with an NPC who knows your reputation, or 2 higher if they have the same skill as you. Same skill you chose for this perk. Okay. That's also very close to what I want. The specialist. The hardcore magic specialist. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I mean, the sage is good, the research is good, but her whole... their whole thing, I think. Maybe her whole thing. Is that she's the specialist in a... Yeah. I think the envy thing was just like, aha, that'd be funny. Nah. Lady. She doesn't have a name yet, by the way. We still haven't named her. We should look at the human names when we get there. Anyway, specialist. You are a leading expert on a particular subject. Choose one skill you have from the lore skill group. Jig. You always have a double edge on tests made to recall lore using this skill. Additionally, your specialist knowledge points, especially your specialist knowledge points, grants you notoriety in the fields related to the chosen skill. You treat renown as 1 higher when negotiating with negotiating with an NPC who knows your reputation, or 2 higher if they have the same skill as you, or if they also have magic. There we go. I'm just gonna write the magic skill because we know what it is. Alright. Excellent. Specialist. Done. And that's it. we're done. Is there anything we were missing we didn't fill out? Potencies. We didn't fill this out. We know what these are, though. 2, 1, 0. All of them seem to be that way. Alright. She doesn't know anything about psionics, though. Oh, name. She needs a name. Okay. Undead ex-human lady. She died researching or something. Or no, she died when she was like, oh, I'm going to be an adventurer. I've been spent all this time being a researcher. I'm going to... And then poof, immediately murdered, first thing. And she was pissed off that she got murdered on her first adventure. And it turned her into a revenant. So, and now she can't die until she saves the timescape like she wanted in her imagination. Okay. I'm looking up names. The name list. We gotta go to the races. The ancestries. Excuse me. I'm so used to saying races from like other things. Alright. Human names. Western Vaslorian human names. Brenwyn, Demelzia, Elsbeth, Grinvir, Merwin. Okay. These seem based on something. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look up some of these. So, medieval Celtic name thing. Okay, hold on. Medieval Celtic names. Old Celtic names. Yeah. Feminine. Magic? No. We're only in... Oh no, there's only 42 results. Well, let's grab one of these. See... Blessed. Louise. Gladys. Gormlave. Damat. Chair. Bridget. Ein. These are hard to say. Let's see, what other ones we got? No. Ooh. Morgan. Yes. Morgan Le Fay reference. Maybe Morgana. Although Morgana, hold on. Morgana, League of Legends, is kind of a void mage now that I say this out loud. Kind of. She's got weird void powers. So maybe not Morgana. Morgwyn. There we go. So it's Morgana, Morgan Le Fay, Morgwyn. Yeah. Is that two on the nose? Morgwyn Le Fay? Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay. Everyone who knows anything about King Arthur will know immediately what I'm talking about. We're like, just naming the character Morgan Le Fay? It's Morgwyn. Was it working? Not working. Excellent. All right, we save this. Excellent. Done. Saved. Sorry, I named the characters very specifically so I know which one is what and what is happening there. All right. It's a little early than usual, but I'm tired, man. We made that one much faster. Instead of it being 2 hours, it was only 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty good. We knew more what we were doing because we had just done one. I didn't have to like remind myself as I went. Yeah. So that's how that works. Again, I didn't show you a lot of the stuff in the actual book because I'm trying to keep that, go get the book if you want it. The hardcover is a little expensive, but the PDF is nice. I'm probably going to try and, I don't know, I see what I can do about convincing the game store I work at to invest in this game so that I can buy a cheaper hardcover. We'll see though. Okay. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna go take a little break. I tweaked the heck out of my neck the other day, and I've been holding it up now for a while, and I want to go lay down again, let that hurt a little bit less. Go lay down and read some of the actual rulebook, some of the actual rules about how combat works, because I'm only vaguely aware of how that works. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I will catch you guys later. I'm just gonna kill it. Although I could hold on. No, I think I'm just gonna kill it. I don't have the chutzpah today to like go digging through people. I haven't raided in a long time. I don't know. There's something about raiding that feels weird. Like I know you should do it and that's how you grow a community, but like I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't know why it feels weird. It always has. There's just something about it that's like very like, oh, now I'm stuck here for a minute. And not even that. Actually, it's nothing to do with having to be stuck there. There's something about it that's very like socially confrontational. It's like, oh, you're doing a thing? Let me interrupt you. And like I appreciate raids myself, but doing them always feels weird. I don't know. I'll just psych myself up for it later. Actually, is there anyone I know that's on right now? Hold on. Let's check real quick. Squeaky's playing Subnautica. What if I just tell you to go watch Squeaky instead of raiding? Hold on. Trying to find this before my thing ends. If a raid just shows up, you know what's happening. No, I don't see anyone. Anyway. Alright. I'm gonna head out. I'll catch you guys later. I don't know when I'm gonna want to stream again. I really don't know. It'll be a surprise. Woo!